Here right now. Can you have any specific ideas about what might transpire out there tonight? I know it's a coin toss, I think.
Both teams very well coached fundamentally, and they execute the ball real well. Offensively, they come out. You'll notice the same set offensively. The big back for St. Paul's is Harewood. The big back for Churchill is Andrews. Similar running styles. They're good and tough up the middle, and they do a good job. If they had a chance to get outside, they've got good speed. It's getting to be kind of ironic here, Bob, that this is the third time in 3 years that Churchill and St. Paul's have played off in the playoffs. 2 years ago, Churchill won 31-14 and went on to win the city. Last year, of course, everyone remembers the 16-7 loss that Churchill took at the hands of St. Paul's. So this is almost a rubber match, a big grudge match. There's a lot of kids on Churchill's team that were in that final last year, and I think they want to make amends for that one.
Thank you, Ron. Tom, who's going to win this ball game?
Toss-up, Bob. I don't know. I don't really know. I think they're so similar. As Ron was mentioning, they both have strong running attacks. They're both pretty good defensively. It's just going to be a tight game. I really don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, there's the Crusaders getting ready to kick off. They kick off a nice driving kick and fielding the ball. I think that's number 20, Chris Jameson. He's on his way. He doesn't show any finesse. Look at that kid run. He's up over the 35-meter line, and this crowd's all wired up already. This should have the makings of a dandy ball game. There's some of those rowdy Churchill supporters over in the north side. There's the Churchill Bulldog mascot, and we'll probably be giving you the starting lineups coming up shortly on the screen, but we're just going to get underway here with the first play. There's a picture of a young Yellen for the rookie center. Sanderson flanks wide to this side. It's 1st and 10 situation, Bulldogs. Tony DeStasio is the quarterback. Tony gives to Chris Jameson inside for about 4 or 5 meters. The hard-running Jameson is stopped by a good gang tackle.
I think you, Coach Sherbrick, noticed that play familiar. They did a lot of that against you last Friday night in the Velodrome game. They tried to get Andrews' power a lot, and they came back the other way.
That was the off-tackle play, as you were saying, Coach. The tight end is Richardson. The tackle is Holt and Christensen. Center is Yellen. The other guard is Dean, and the other tackle is Ives. The running backs are Jameson, Poor, and Andrews. The wide receivers are Sanderson and Birch, and the quarterback is DeStasio.
Here we go, 2nd and 6. They give to Jameson, and he's about 1 meter short maybe of a first down there. So it's going to be an interesting call coming up. And I like the way the Bulldogs are coming out running very hard. And there's
the Bulldog.
Cute Churchill fan there with a Bulldog mascot. It's decision time already for Coach Doby, but there's no kick team coming in, I notice.
No, we would expect to see number 5, Mulvaney. He's the regular punter for the Bulldogs, but he wasn't sent in, so they must be going for it.
DeStasio going with a long count. There's the give. It looked like Andrews, and he penetrates pretty well right off Jamie Christensen, the big right guard. Luke Holt, the right tackle, and Tom, I'm not sure if we're going to get a replay. Ron, did you like the execution of that play?
Oh, I thought both teams are coming off the football well. It's a stalemate. I think, I was going to say it's pretty close. They're going to need a measurement, but they just signaled the first down.
Well, Joey Pound, number 10, made the tackle for the St. Paul's Crusaders, along with many other Crusaders, but he was one noticeable player on that play.
First down, Bulldogs. Stasio gives to Jameson, just a short gain this time.
Well, 55, Robin Gruette, one of the defenders on the ball, stopping the ball carrier on the play. And Churchill has come out running the ball with Jameson quite a bit so far in this opening few minutes of the first quarter.
Well, I think they're going to try to get him the football as much as they can. Andrews led the league in scoring, and I'm sure St. Paul's will be keying on his every move.
Well, remembering last week's game, it was Jameson that did the bulk of the work in the semifinal contest against Daniel Mack rather than Andrews.
2nd and 7 situation for the Bulldogs. DeStasio gives, I'm not sure who the ball carrier was. I think they snuck Rick Urso into the game.
That was Rick Urso, number 36.
We'll wait to the end pile. A good team defense there by the St. Paul's Crusaders, and that brings Kyle Mulvaney and the punting team in for the Churchill Bulldogs.
I believe Rick is one of the starters on defense. I think he's one of the interior linebackers. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Urso is a starter on defense.
There's 9:30 remaining here in the first quarter, 0-0 to the score, and then we've got a big crowd here to see the semifinal matchup between the Churchill Bulldogs and the defending champion St. Paul's Crusaders. The winner, I should say, will play the Tech Rock Hornets next Saturday at 1 o'clock here at the Velodrome. There's a snap. It's Not a great snap, but it's a good kick by Mulvaney. A left-footed kicker, number 14, takes the ball for the Crusaders. That's Charles Tetro, one of the starting running backs. And Crusaders are going to have the ball a pretty good field position. It looks to be around their own 36-meter line.
Very noisy crowd this evening, Bob. Both teams bring a large contingent of fans, and these aren't fans that just sit and watch. Rather, they jump up and down, scream and yell, clap, cheer. And you can probably hear a lot of that background noise. Very enthusiastic fans this evening.
First down Crusaders here. We'll see if I think Steidel's the quarterback there. It's hard to tell from that shot. They're a long way away. We'll try and check who the give is. It looks like Harewood right off left guard, but a good defense there. Just a swarming tackling by the Bulldogs. Just a short gain. The yardstick boys are hardly moving there. We'll give them a, well, we better give them 3 meters in that play. 2nd and 7 situation. I see the Bulldogs are substituting maybe an extra defensive back into the game. Kind of interesting. Their style, I think there was a miscue on the snap, and the ball is probably loose. The Bulldogs are happy.
Looks like Churchill's got it, Bob.
Be interesting to get a replay and see if the snap was fumbled, if it was during an exchange in the backfield.
Well, I believe it was number 44 who came up with the ball, and that's
Jeff Getty. That's one of Coach Gustafson's old running backs. Maybe you can fill us in on Jeff, Ron.
Oh, Jeff did a good job for us last year as running. Last year being that I was at Churchill last year, did a good job as a running back, but it was pretty tough to break the backfield, the starting backfield that we had. And Coach Dobie felt that he had to get this type of ball player into his scheme of things, and it turned out that he's playing starting linebacker on defense for him.
He's really blossomed as a linebacker. He's got very good speed, and I guess we both knew he's a real tough kid. Anyways, there's a DeStasio, gives to Andrews off right tackle, but a nice low hit. We'll try and get the number of the player. He's got a 21, number 21 for St. Paul's Crusaders in low. That's Scott Sangster, backup quarterback playing defense for them. A nice low hit on the play. And
I believe number 15, Peter Pura, was also in on the tackle.
Yes, Peter's a great 10 player. I know Coach Sitter very pleased with his performance. His brother played a few years ago. Ron would remember him from about 3 years ago.
There's some of that ecstatic, rambunctious crowd.
0-0 here with 7:25 remaining in the first quarter. Tony DeStasio, very deliberate. He's a really nice poised quarterback. He gives to Andrews. Oh, Andrews was just looked to be about a step away from breaking one. 21 with the tackle.
Sangster making the tackle again. And if Sangster is playing in the defensive backfield and these defensive backs are making the tackles, it looks like these Churchill Bulldogs are getting by the defensive linemen and the linebackers. And that's not a good sign if the defensive backs have to make all the tackles. You would hope that maybe the linebackers would be in there and stop them for shorter gains.
The officials will call for a measurement.
Well, it's an interesting defense they have set up. They have 8 men about 1 yard from the ball, from the line of scrimmage, and they're just daring them to run at. And I'll say if Andrews hits that off tackle hard and bounces outside, those D-backs are going to be tired of seeing that young man run at them all night long.
And that's one thing we've seen Andrews do a lot of, is having the ability to bounce off from one hole to the next hole, maybe a little further on the outside, and then turning it upfield.
Some of the Bulldog players indicate they've got about a half meter to go for a first down, so I guess it'll be wedge time. We see more and more teams using that infamous Sisler wedge in these situations.
Well, I don't think it was Sisler that perfected it by any stretch of the imagination or initiated it. We use it quite a bit, though.
There's the give. Andrews, right off big Luke Holt, the right tackle, and boy, they really opened them up in short yardage.
Well, it was an off-tackle play to the right, Bob, as opposed to one directly over the center or over the both guards. So it was a little bit of a slant play.
We're just moving that ground level camera to get a little closer to the action down there, and George Sanderson, a receiver, split to this side of the field. 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. They look like they're around the 30-meter line. There's Jameson, no penetration that time. A terrific initial hit there. We're not sure the number. We'll wait till they unpile, but just good team defense by the Crusaders.
Well, number 54, Carl Sear, was in on the tackle. That's S-E-I-E-R. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right. Carl Sear was one of the tacklers on the play for the Crusaders. The game was very short, maybe 2nd and 9.
I know a young DeStasio, Ron. He's a very nice passer, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them put the ball in there. They have a lot of confidence in him.
It seems like St. Paul's always challenged him to put the ball in there right now. Now they've got 9 people right up in there. They're just, go ahead, throw it. Here we go with Andrews off tackle.
Good defense. I believe Cantafio, number 22, is one of the players in, and
also number 50, that's Chris Manella.
Yes, I wonder if that's in relation to the infamous Luminella at Tech Block.
Infamous would be the proper adjective to use to describe Lou. And we're going to see a replay again. It's the off-tackle play to the right. The backs are leading the blocking, but somebody forgets to block number 50, Manella, and he makes the tackle.
Punting time. That was a nice replay by our cameraman Nelson. Oh, those snaps are brutal so far. It's just a matter of time till St. Paul's blocks one. Oh, they whistled the kick dead there. Well, I guess that's a break for, I think both teams will take that.
Well, I believe the third down snaps for the Churchill Bulldogs are handled by one of their regular wide receivers, number 33, Don Birch, and I think they could be improved. They're sort of up and down like a rainbow, looping a little bit.
That's right. It's funny on this list of notes I got here, Tom. What I've got at the bottom is third down snaps could be a possible weakness, and so far the indications are the snaps. I guess they're accurate in a way, but they're just too slow, Ron.
Well, it'd be interesting to see what they're trying to do. Maybe they're shooting 3 people over Birch at the snap, and he's trying to keep his head up and see what's coming before the ball is completely snapped. We'll have to check that next time Churchill's in a punting situation.
I know I saw Yellen was snapping long on punts too. There's a give by the Crusaders right up the middle, but I see Michael Dean, the big right defensive end, is in there to make a tackle, and he's assisted by a few other players.
Ball carrier was number 25. That's Peter Harewood. And he's 17 years of age. He's in grade 12 at St. Paul's.
Yeah, so he lives in Maples area too. That must make Maples coaches happy.
He's also a 3-year ball player. He's played 3 years for St. Paul's.
And I believe he's a starter on defense. At least in earlier games this season he was.
He also started at right corner linebacker.
We've got a timeout here by the St. Paul's Crusaders, so just continue on, gentlemen. Any observations like so far, Ron? Or?
Well, it's like watching a mere football game. You know, St. Paul's is trying to do the same thing that Churchill is, and that's trying to establish a ground game with Harewood for St. Paul's and Andrews for Churchill. I know that Churchill's been trying to get Jameson into play more often, though.
And here we see the St. Paul's offense. The quarterback is Steidel, the tight end is Gilmore, the tackle is Militano, Sear is one of the guards, Manila is the center, Gruette and Albrechtsen are the guard tackle on the other side. Harewood, Contapio are the running backs, Pura is a wide receiver, and Tetro is a third running back, and also the split end is Rob Dick.
2nd and 9 situation facing the Crusaders here as we're 0-0 halfway into the first quarter. There's number 14 carrying the ball. He's got pretty good speed. Ron, you were talking about him before. Charles Tetro, you saw him play earlier?
Well, he did a number on us in our game. That, of course, we were beat by St. Paul's. They were 7-0, but in the game against us, he was more a factor in the passing game than he was in the running game. So again, we're back to the same situation. They're trying to line up strong and then run weak side with their lead back.
Well, Ron, it looks like you're going to have trouble with number 14, Charles Tetro, again next year because he's only in grade 11.
That seems to be the story we always get. We always have trouble with people coming back.
And he lives in Southdale, so you could do a little recruiting there. Here is punting time. I believe that's John Pura back to do the punting. And how is that having a great Tedkin at punting? Look at that kick. There's Rick Urso, a nice sure-handed catch. He crosses midfield. Ooh. Well, the important thing, he held on to the ball. He's down to around the 46-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders. And once again, the Bulldogs are going to enjoy a good field position.
Nothing fancy about number 36, Rick Urso, returning that punt. He's more or less a north-south runner, goes straight ahead and just tries to bull you open.
I know Coach Doby, in talking with him before the ball game, was concerned about the way his punt returns were playing. They weren't handling the ball well, so maybe that's what he instructed him, catch the football and get upfield.
I would think that one other weakness Churchill might have is on their convert field goal team.
You wouldn't think they would because they've had enough practice at it. They scored enough touchdowns.
Well, in the game against us, which was their final game of the regular season, they seem to have some difficulties getting a convert.
Notice Chris Jameson just popped through for his usual 4 or 5 meters, bring up a 2nd and 6 situation here. And
see a power eye backfield employed by Churchill, similar to the one by St. Paul's.
There's a give to the up man. I believe that's young Steve Poor, the rookie in there, and that caught them by... No, it wasn't. I see there's 23...
I think it was Jameson.
He hit in there very quickly. Nice running.
Well, they have 2 backs aligned behind the quarterback in an eye, and then 1 back offset. And that time the quarterback just turned to his right and gave it to the offset back, number 20, Jameson, straight ahead. Poor plays the up back in the eye, and number 34, Andrews, plays the tailback in the eye.
So far, I like the way the Bulldogs are running the ball. They're looking very effective on the ground here with 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. There's a give inside, but a nice tackle. I believe it was Jameson again. We'll wait till they unpile. No.
No, that's Poor.
No, that was Poor, Steve Poor. Well, that was a pretty good guess.
No, I'd say that was a poor guess.
That play took a long time to develop. You noticed Tony DeStasio, as he turned around from the handoff, he was standing there for what seemed like a second and a half with the ball out. Fortunately, no one from St. Paul's came through and stripped him of the football.
There's a nice low-level shot along the line of scrimmage there. There's DeStasio giving to this side. The Jameson cuts up. But a nice tackle. He's going to be way short of the first down. They'll still have probably about 4 or 5 meters to go.
Well, I guess you'd call that maybe a sweep play to the outside. It's not really a pitch play because I think the quarterback just hands it off to the running back. But if we could see it on a replay, you might see the George Sanderson, he's the flanker on the left side, moving laterally along the line of scrimmage to get in a good position for a block. And we didn't see Sanderson, but we did see Jameson carry the ball.
We also saw number 25, Harewood, and we talked about him offensively, played off the block well and came in to make the stop.
Yeah, they're not messing around this game. I know St. Paul's must be playing, I think, about 7 guys 2 ways. There's Mulvaney, a good driving kick, a pretty good distance. Now, it rolls into the end zone. There's Harewood. He's going to bring it out. He breaks the first couple of tackles, and Jeff Getty gets him along with a few other Bulldogs in the play, and there's a good shot of some of the Bulldog fans. And look at that turnout.
Well, Bob, both teams have not moved the ball very much offensively speaking, but remember earlier in this first quarter, St. Paul's had a fumble in the exchange between the quarterback and the center, and that's given Churchill good field position. And then with the back and forth kicking of the punts, the ball is just basically staying down in this Crusader end of the field.
Getting some great shots with that held hand camera here of all these people still pouring into the game. There we go. It's just a straight ahead give, not much penetration on that.
Was that a draw play?
It looked almost like a sprint draw play, but I didn't notice who carried the football on that one. He came back inside. There's a lot of motion outside. They faked a crackback with the outside receiver, and they gave up the middle.
I think both Churchill and St. Paul's like to use that outside receiver to throw the crackback block.
It's a very effective play if you can get the receiver that is gutsy enough to come down and make the block on those linebackers.
Looks like a play came into the bench to young Steidel, the quarterback. We'll see what happens here. He just he drops back the pass. Sure enough, he puts it out there. Oh, nice reception. It's going to be close to a first down. We'll wait till they mark it there.
Yeah, if we get a replay on that, you'll notice that number 20, Tim Lang, came out of the backfield and ran about a 6-7 yard out. Pat Belanger had the coverage. It was good coverage. The ball was well thrown on the out, and just a good football play all around.
Yeah, I thought it was a kind of a dangerous pass throwing that far out, but I guess they're just short. I'm just looking along the line there where they marked it, and St. Paul's is going to play it safe. I don't blame them at this point in the game with about 1:18 remaining. 0-0 here in the first quarter, and we'll see how this St. Paul's center works on this play. A crucial part of any high school football game, these third down snaps.
It'll be interesting if Churchill goes for a block on this. Here they come.
There's a low snap. Oh,
excellent punt again.
Whoop. I think that's Andrews fielding. I'm not sure. We'll wait till he gets set here. And
Don Birch.
Don Birch, number 33, is one of the receivers. And again, the Bulldogs are taking the ball over in pretty good position here around the 45-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders. 56 seconds remaining, and I guess like we've been talking about, Ron, it's a funny game. They're just feeling each other out.
Well, St. Paul's was the first to go to the air, but they only have 51 seconds left with the win. So when the quarter changes, we'll be interested to see what Tony DeStasio does with his Churchill offense.
This is such a contrast to the first game, Tom.
Well, that first game was so wide open, Bob.
Boy, those lead blockers are really hitting in that line in a hurry there for the Bulldogs. As they surge ahead there, it looks like about just a 3-meter gain, but they're really hitting in hard.
Oh, I'm very impressed with the execution and the explosiveness off the ball by both teams. The backs seem to be flying out of there, and the linemen are getting off their blocks, and it's a well-played game so far, even though we have no score.
2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs.
Looks like the off tackle.
There's Andrews coming to the near side of the field here. He's getting good pursuit. He tries to turn it up at number 20 right by our ground camera. Oh, that's a little dangerous.
Number 20 is Tim Lang, and he rode Mr. Andrews out of bounds, right near the camera.
We end up what is it, 3rd and 3 now, Bob?
Yes, it's going to be short. It was a good defense in the play. Andrews has got pretty deceptive speed. Here's the replay, Tom.
Okay, it's going to be the off tackle play, I believe, to the left-hand side. And there's some St. Paul's defenders just running him out of bounds. Number 20 made the final hit.
Excellent play by number 20. Unfortunately for Churchill, he was close enough to sidelines because he stripped Andrews of the ball as he got out there.
There's the snap. It hangs up again, but there's not much of a rush this time, and a good driving kick again. It is not much to look at, but it's pretty effective. And number, I believe it's Pura with the ball, 15, and a nice running. Woo. Peter Pura, only a grade 10 student. He's looking mighty good out there.
Well, I think the Churchill people covering the punt made the mistake of trying to arm tackle him, and you just can't do it. He's too shifty. He's a good-sized kid, and it's pretty tough to arm tackle anybody and do it successfully.
And that's the end of the first quarter. With the score, the Churchill Bulldogs 0, the St. Paul's Crusaders 0. We've got an injured player on the field for the Bulldogs. He's being attended to right now, and there's a pitcher, Don Birch, wide receiver, heading off the field.
There's a replay of the punt, Bob. It was kind of a low punt, low trajectory, and there's Pura picking it up. And arm tackles aren't working.
Well, he broke 4 tackles on the play before he was finally pinned on the sidelines and taken out of bounds.
There you see the score: St. Paul's Crusaders 0, Churchill Bulldogs 0.
I can't believe, Tom, how quickly that first quarter went. I feel like I just sat down here. We're already a quarter's gone.
Well, I think Coach Dobie has to be happy with the situation right now. He's got them pinned down on about the 25-30 yard line going into the wind. If his defense can hold the series and force them to punt into the wind, he could get the ball conceivably around midfield.
They're still attending to the injured Bulldog player. That's the reason for the delay. It looks like a nose guard, 55, Tony Wall. We'll try and get a better look at him here in a second, and I think one of the trainers is signaling for a little help there. Maybe when we get a chance here, I'm going to mention 3 of the most valuable members of the Churchill Bulldogs are their managers, and everybody who's been connected with a high school football team knows that the managers really run things. And over at Churchill this year, they have Maria Pakovic, Wendy Esselmont, and Shirley Dion as the managers, and Coach Dobie may be the head coach, but those girls run the show, I know that.
Hello, baby!
Well, they're helping Wall off. And I think as soon as he gets off the field here, we're going to start the first play of the second quarter.
You know, Tony's been a very valuable addition to them. He's just a first-year player, but he's playing like a veteran. But he's got a history of bad leg, and that doesn't look too good there from what I can see.
I would think Churchill's probably gone with Darren Greengrass to take his place.
There's good defense once again. I just missed the ball carrier. It's kind of hard to tell with the dark maroon uniforms. The lighting's so bad in the middle of the field, but we'll wait till the end pile.
Well, Pat Belanger got off the bottom of the pile. Whether he made the tackle or not, we'll have to wait and see if we do get a replay. The linebackers are closing well on their off-tackle plays and doing a good job.
Seems like everybody just sitting back, Tom, waiting for either team to explode.
Well, you might think that both offenses are sort of setting up the play-action pass.
I agree. That's a good point. That's right. But we're bound to see that fake into the line in the pass. There's the pitch. I believe that's 25 Harewood, a 3-year veteran, and he just pops through for maybe only a gain of 2 or 3 meters.
Well, it was DePap and Getty. DePap number 40 and Getty number 44 making the tackle, and they're interior linebackers on that Bulldog defensive scheme of things.
Yes, they're both back next year too, so that's good news for Bulldog fans. And right now the young Peter Pura is going to have to punt the ball away for the Crusaders here, and very impressed with the center for St. Paul's. We'll try and give him a little recognition here if we can get his number coming out over the ball.
Pretty hard to pick it up.
Interesting. He kicked both his punts in the first quarter up in the air, and with a stiff breeze like this blowing into his face, it'll be interesting what kind of distance he gets on it.
Oh, that's blocked. Number 54, Jamie Christensen with the block. What a play by Jamie. He just broke clear in the last second dive to a point where the ball was going to be. And I think the play
will recover the ball.
The play will speak for itself here, Tom. If we get a replay, you take it away. And I'm sure 54 with that chipped helmet.
Well, that's 54 is Jamie Christensen, and he's an end on defense. And we see a number of Bulldogs surrounding the punter. I believe it was Jamison that did block the punt. And there we see Belanger coming up with the recovery, number 88.
Big turnaround here, and the Bulldogs are going to take the ball over. It looks to be on the 15-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders, and now it's test time for the Crusaders. Look how their linebackers are stacked in there behind the defensive linemen. There's the give to Jamison. He's got about 5 meters off left guard and blocking on that left side. I believe that's we got a first-year left tackle. I'll try and named Ives.
I think that's, yeah, Ives and Dean on that side.
And we've got a fellow, Michael Dean, who is a real... I tell you, if you want to promote a weightlifting program, this young Dean is a perfect example.
That's what I'd say, Bob. He sure did a good job on the weights this off-season and really bulked himself up and is doing a good job for him.
There's the Stasio pass wide open. I believe it's Jamison. He's headed for the end zone. Touchdown, Bulldogs. And That's the play I think you thought might be coming, Tom. A nice fake into the line by DeStasio.
Well, it was a little play action pass, Bob. The quarterback fakes into the line, and then he looked for Jameson out in the left flats, and Jameson was all alone. I believe the St. Paul's linebackers came up. There's the little fake, and you see DeStasio putting it over to Jameson, and one defender for St. Paul's tries to make a tackle on the goal line, but it's a touchdown.
Nice execution, Ron. I'm sure.
Well, we saw in the replay, Peter Harewood came on a blitz coming like that, and that opened up the flat. He's the corner linebacker on that side, and when you do something like that, you have to hope that that corner linebacker gets enough pressure on the quarterback so that he can't dump off the receiver on the flat. And unfortunately for St. Paul's, he didn't that time, and it ended up in 6 points.
There's Lauren Davies with a convert, and what a shot. He kicked it right out of the Velodrome. We saw that happen. Mark McLaughlin for the Sisler Spartans. You believe it, that ball's gone. We better get our backup ball into the game. That wind might be stronger than I thought.
There we see the score, Bob, and we're in the second quarter of tonight's semifinal contest, and the score is the Churchill Bulldogs 7 and the St. Paul's Crusaders nothing.
Ron, your impression so far? I know it's been a very tight game until I guess the block punt is obviously the big play.
Well, neither of these teams beats themselves by making a mistake, and so far St. Paul's has fumbled the football twice, or one fumble and one block punt, and Churchill capitalized on the block punt. Now it'll be interesting. Churchill has the wind in the second quarter, and if they get a good kickoff and pin him deep, and again a good defensive series, they could be looking at another good field position and possibly more points. St. Paul's needs a very good return, and they've got people back there with good speed that can do it. It'll be an interesting football game. Pretty soon, you know, that ball's going to have to get in the air because defensively they're beating each other up. They're just shunning everything off tackle up the middle, and it's going to have to go out in the flats and some play action passing.
I think the Bulldogs are the first team to score first on the Crusaders all year, so it's going to be kind of interesting how they react to that. They've been in the driver's seat so many of their games. A lot of the coaches felt they had a soft schedule, but we'll see what happens here. There's a nice driving kick by Davies, and I believe that's Harewood with the ball, and he starts right up midfield. He's trying to pick up his blocks. He lowers his head, and we'll give number 21 credit with a nice punishing tackle there for the Bulldogs.
Chmelnitsky, I think.
Yeah,
Mike
that's a defensive back. Nice play. He's shaking his head a bit after the hit, but it was...
there is a flag on the play, Bob.
Yeah, and it looks like it's against Churchill by looking at the St. Paul's ball players.
Oh, that's a major penalty. That hurts after a fine defensive play by that young defensive halfback.
Oh, you wonder if on the tackle he used his helmet, he used his head on the tackle because he flipped that pretty good. And you wonder if it was a spearing call or what.
Could be.
It's hard to tell from up here because it was on the far side of the field. The tackle was made.
I don't think we're going to see number 55, Tony Wall, back in there yet. So playing nose tackle for the Bulldogs would be 68, I believe, Darren Greengrass.
Yes, Darren's a second-year player. He's got himself a little better condition this year. He's got a lot of game experience this year, so it's not like putting somebody in there who doesn't know what they're doing. First down. There's the give right off right guard again. It's a Harewood. Cantafio trying to block for them, but the Bulldog defense pretty tough on that left side. We're not sure about the tackles. I think Getty Urso play on that side, along with Lauren Davies. The left defensive end is Jamie Christensen. Gain of 4 meters for the Crusaders. For some of you trivia buffs, I know that the Crusaders are using 20 veteran returning players and the Bulldogs 18 tonight. There's a quarterback, Steidl, straight back to pass. He throws it out here as suicider as Pat Belanger had good coverage here in Cantafio, and it's a punting situation for the Crusaders.
Fortunately, that ball was overthrown. It could have been 6 the other way if he put the ball on target. Pat Belanger read the play very well, was sitting right in the middle of that little flat pass.
I noticed Coach Sherbrooke twitching on that one as it left the quarterback's hand. You could see the Bulldogs had reacted very well.
I was watching the play develop, and I was trying to figure out what other receivers the quarterback may have had. And there were a few people downfield, but they seemed to be covered by the secondary of Churchill. And I suppose from the quarterback's point of view, number 22 was the only person he may have hit.
That's St. Paul center. That's the best snapping I've seen all year in any game. Just terrific. There's John Andrews. Ooh, John lowers his head and takes a punishing hit from about 6 Crusaders, but John is a very sturdy individual himself. He knows how to protect himself there, and I'm sure he'll bounce up.
Well, Joey Pound was in on the tackle, as was number 61, Albrechtson.
I sure didn't see it. John didn't find too many familiar colored jerseys when he got up off that pile. There was about 6 or 7 St. Paul's people on top of him. He just got swarmed under. A good job turning the play back inside by number 10. That's Joey Pound.
Yeah, Joey's a kicker, I believe. I remember using his name quite often last year. Grade 12 student out there at St. Paul's. Again, I mentioned they got 20 grade 12 students here on this team. Both teams carrying about 30 players. There's DeStasio, a nice play faking. Sanderson's broken loose. Oh, just overthrown. And nice faking Tony DeStasio. The coverage by number 20 there for St. Paul's, that's Tim Lang, and
play action pass, Bob, where we saw quarterback DeStasio attempt a few fakes into the line and then look downfield for Sanderson. And Tim Lang was with him, but I think Sanderson may have been a step or two beyond.
Both wide receivers on that. Both Birch and Sanderson ran streaks on that little play action pass with the maximum protection, kept the tight end in, and fortunately for St. Paul's, it was overthrown because I think, like you said, Coach, he did have him by a step.
I like that play in first down. That sort of shakes the defense a bit. There's DeStasio. He's going back. We'll see. Oh, he gets good pressure, but Tony's deceptively quick. He passes. Oh, there's just good defense.
Interference.
No, yeah, I guess there is a flag thrown, and there was a...
It's pass interference, Bob, I believe, called on number 21, Scott Sangster.
I think Mike Richardson, the tight end, was the intended receiver, and the ball was so high, it was kind of a funny play, but a definite interference call, I guess.
Jameson was also in the area. He may have been the intended receiver as well as Richardson. We'll see it again.
If you watch Tony, you try to teach your quarterbacks as they're rolling out left to square their shoulders up to the line of scrimmage, and being chased by that St. Paul's defender didn't give time to set up and throw properly, and that's probably one of the reasons why the ball was overthrown.
Yeah, good point, Ron. And the first down now is the Bulldogs move over midfield here. Here's the give inside to Andrews, but once again, he gets 2 meters at the most, and the Crusaders are going to make you earn every point you get, Tom. Nothing comes easy in this game.
Well, they're really stacking up that Churchill running game. There's no doubt about that, Bob. And to this point, Churchill has had some success with their passing plays, but running is going to be tough meterage tonight.
Ron, we'll let you call this play. 2nd and 8.
Okay, 2nd and 8. DeStasio's under the center. We have Andrews in motion. And we run another draw play to Jamison. He's up, and it's I think it'll be about 3rd and 1. I think it's a little short, but again, it looked like almost a sprint draw. DeStasio came back, sent Andrews in early motion, just handed off. Excellent line play, opened up a hole, and he hit it well.
Albrechtson made the tackle for the St. Paul's Crusaders, number 61.
Tom, I really like the way that Chris Jamison blows through there. Wow.
Well, here we see the replay, and there's Jamison just putting his head down, and we see Albrechtson making the tackle, as well as another unidentified Crusader, but it's good for about 9.
3rd and 1 situation here. DeStasio taking his time. He gives, I think, to John Andrews, just very neatly hops the first wave of tacklers in the first down territory into the 35-meter line of the Crusaders. And right now the Bulldogs have got something going here. They're on the march. I guess thanks to a pass interference call, but in a playoff game, you'll take whatever you can get. And if the other team is going to give you an interference call.
Well, all the Churchill field position tonight has come from penalties or from miscues on the St. Paul's part. Blocked punt, fumble, and of course the pass interference penalty.
There's Tony straight back. He looks out to this side. There's 2 receivers too close to each other. I think the coaches, I'm sure, will notice that. And just the play didn't form too well. It looked like, I guess, Sanderson and Andrews. Maybe Andrews taking his pattern a little too deep. It's hard to tell, though.
Well, you have to look like the ball was thrown about 10, 15 yards downfield. So you'd have to think that the back was a little deep. It was a good effort by Sanderson to try to up and get the football, but it was a different formation. They only had 1 running back that time, and they put 2 slot backs out. So we'll have to keep an eye and see if they're going to try something different like that again.
2nd and 10. Bulldogs, they show motion to both sides, but they use those men as blockers. There's DeStasio hanging the ball out to Jamison. It's the same play. He's headed down the sidelines. Touchdown, Churchill. Chris Jamison, number 2. And Ron, I think it's the same play. I'm not sure.
The only thing they changed on that play is they ran Sanderson on a post instead of an out, and they still ran that. I think Jamison was probably the play design on that. He had a corner. And what they try to do is freeze that defensive halfback out there, make him make a decision one way or the other, and then they throw to the open receiver. DeStasio did an excellent job. The ball was well thrown up over the secondary coverage, and Jamison, a super catch, and took it up the sidelines and in. Good football play for Churchill.
That makes the score 13-0 now with 5:35 left in the 2nd quarter.
It's good.
And it's good. That makes the score 14-0. As the Churchill Bulldogs have popped out ahead here with 2 touchdowns by Chris Jamison and a block kick leading to 1 touchdown and a pass interference call leading to the 2nd. And Tom, I was going to say, very uncharacteristic of the Crusaders to let 2 things like that happen.
We see Jamison lined up. He was sort of the wing back on the left, and he just runs kind of an out pattern, I guess, and downfield for the touchdown. And I'm wondering if that corner linebacker blitzed again. Scott
Sangster had trouble keeping up with Jamison, number 21 for the Crusaders looked like he had the initial coverage, but Chris just lost him out in the open area.
Well, Chris has got deceptively fast speed. Between he and Andrews, it's pretty difficult as to who is the faster. On Tuesday, John may be faster. Wednesday, Chris will win in a race. So they both got real good speed, and it's pretty tough to key on Andrews when Jameson is playing as well as he is tonight.
I just noticed, Tom, we got fans over on the other side of the field tonight. I don't think I've ever seen that. It must indicate a good crowd here. Here's a driving kick. Lauren Davies, a very powerful kick. We'll try and check the runner. I believe it's Harewood. No, it's Pura, 15. And again, he brings the ball up to, looks to be around the 27-meter line. And the Crusaders have got to get a little drive going, take that momentum away from the Bulldogs.
I'll have to ask you, Coach. It didn't seem like he was wanting to attack that return. It seemed like he was coming up somewhat hesitant as to where he wanted to run. And I think the coverage by Churchill on that kick limited to a short return.
Well, Churchill just ran downfield, flew downfield, and I would agree with you. It was a little tentative. It looked like he was just trying to pick out where he was going to go, and Churchill was there before he had a chance to make it.
Here's a pitch to Harewood. Good blocking for him, and young Peter goes for about 8 meters. That's probably their best run of the game so far. That play really developed nicely. Peter cut it up when he saw the hole. I guess he could have made a choice to go either out or up, but he cut up, and happened to be the right choice in this situation. That's going to bring up a second down, 2-meter situation. There's a close-up of the St. Paul's huddle there, and pretty good team size in the line. There's young Steidl calling the signals. He's got the red sweat tops on there. And it's first down territory for Peter Harewood and the Crusaders as they try to get something going here with 4:41 remaining in the second quarter. We're into semi-final playoff action in the Winnipeg High School Football League. The winner of this game will advance to play the Tech Rock Hornets next Saturday here at the Velodrome at 1 o'clock. And any of you who aren't connected with any Winnipeg schools, you're still welcome to show up to the game. Just buy an admission ticket, $1. There. Oh, some nice ball handling. Again, a nice 9-meter pickup by the Crusaders. And the number 14, that's
Charles Petro running the ball for the St. Paul's Crusaders. And it looked like a little off tackle or a sweep play to this side of the field. Tetro's down on one knee.
If we could get a replay on that, Bob, it was an excellent run. You saw that the running backs that were leading him kicked out the linebacker. He turned upfield and then saw pressure from inside and bounced back outside. And a real good run. Excellent job. Good job by the St. Paul's running backs to spring him outside.
There we see the tail end of it. And that's number 36, Urso, delivering a blow. And
Jeff Getty, number 44.
Yeah, 44. That's right.
Good defense. There's some of the younger members in the crowd tonight. Halloween was last night. What are these kids doing out this late?
Parents, where are your children?
They're getting a great response, though, to that handheld camera. I think Alf Carboni's skulking through the crowd with that camera. I like those Crusader uniforms there. Very nice. They've got the numbers on the side, helps us identify. I've always liked having the team name across the front of the jerseys. It always surprised me, or I always wondered about that P on the helmet, what that stood for. I guess it's for Paul or something, but...
Yeah. Could be the Pope, Bob.
It could be. We'll get into that at halftime. 2nd and 1. 4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Young Tetro being helped off the field, and I think he'll be gone for the rest of this half. I would assume the way he's hobbling there. He's shaking it off. I don't think Coach Sitter's going to risk him with just 4 minutes remaining here. They've got some good subs they can fill with.
Well, number 20, Tim Lang fills in, and he's a very adequate replacement.
Nice play. Peter, no, that's Cantafio,
number 22.
Straight ahead for 6 meters, Tom.
That may be the first time he's carried the ball this evening. I don't really remember us calling his name before.
Well, in our games, I don't think Mr. Cantafio has played much in the last month of the season. I know he didn't play against us, which is the week after he played you, and I don't think he played against Calvin, and then they had the week off, and so I think this is his first action in probably about 3.5 weeks. Well, it's too bad. It looks like a very integral part of their offense if he can run like that every time he carries the ball.
And also, he's a key member on defense, as I think he plays on the outside, one of the outside linebackers for the St. Paul's Crusaders. There's Rick Urso leaving the field.
That's Trish Wilson, Karen Beauchamp out to look after Rick. Are there two of the trainers over there with the Bulldogs?
I think Richardson's coming in to take Urso's place. Richardson will line up at linebacker.
Well, Mike played linebacker for Churchill last year, and he converted him to tight end this year, so we'll have to keep an eye on him and see if he still has his old linebacking traits with him.
Yeah, there goes Steidl. He hangs it out. Nice pass. Harewood's got it in full flight. He breaks the first tackle, the second tackle. He might go. He's down the sideline. Getty can't get him. Getty got him. What a play by Jeff Getty. I told you before that Getty was quick, and he showed it on that play. But the end result is a tremendous gain for the Crusaders, and momentum is switched.
Excellent throw by Seidel. Got it up over the linebacker. A super one-handed catch by Harewood. He turned it up, broke a couple tackles, got a good block by number 15, Peter Pura, downfield to keep him going. Getty did a super job to chase him down, or it was 6 points.
Churchill got caught trying to substitute a little late there. Wisely, the player decided not to go on the field. As St. Paul's just straight ahead. We see
that's touchdown, Bob.
It is. Woo! The fans are going wild here right in front of us.
If we can get a replay of that, Bob, you'll notice something. St. Paul's came out and gave an unbalanced line right, something that Churchill has done for the last few years in third and short situations is when unbalanced and run behind the strength. So I think they gave Churchill back a little of their own medicine.
In all that excitement, I missed the ball carrier.
It was Harewood.
Peter Harewood. 25. I think that's a pretty safe bet to give him the ball in that situation. The score is 14-6, and right now it's execution time with Joey Pound here trying to convert for the Crusaders. Here's the kick. He just puts it through, not much power, but he just undercut the ball nicely. The direction was right there. We've got a 14-7 ball game here in favor of the Churchill Bulldogs with 3:27 remaining. And I guess it was just a matter of time. The young Peter Harewood broke loose, and it was just some nice open field running there, Ron.
Well, he did an excellent job. As he said, he broke a couple tackles about 10 yards after he caught the catch. But again, I couldn't believe the catch he made. The ball came up right over the top of his head. He one-handed it, pulled it in, turned upfield, and just accelerated. He just left some people standing when he turned upfield.
I also noticed number 20, Tim Lang, throwing a fine block downfield. And if we could see it on the replay, maybe we could pick out some of these things. But it was just an excellent effort by Harewood and some good blocking downfield and fine play.
And Rob Steidel just led him. It was a perfectly thrown ball on the play. Peter took that ball in full stride. And all of a sudden now, the Bulldogs are going to have to rebound. And listen to that noise level. I figure I'm at the World Cup soccer or something. Where's Toby Charles?
3 minutes and 27 seconds left to go in this first half.
There's the kick. It's not very deep. We'll see who fields it there. I'm not sure. I think it might be somebody like Richardson, one of the up men. We'll wait till they unpile. But Churchill is going to have the ball in fairly decent field position around their 37-meter line.
You know, Bob, I think they've given Lou Holt a new number. I think he's wearing 57 because he was wearing 99, and that's actually an eligible receiver's number.
I wondered about that, too, when I saw that in the roster.
But Holt is wearing 57 this evening.
You can't have a tackle wearing a 90 number, I don't think. Well,
if you clear with the officials before the game, it's okay, but you have to do that before else he's an ineligible player.
Here's a replay of the kickoff, and we see number 30, Richardson, running the ball.
And we're back live, and I think it's Chris Jameson just churning ahead for maybe 3 meters as St. Paul's all of a sudden has stolen some momentum here.
Well, Churchill came out and tried to run that same draw play that they ran to start the series last drive, and the St. Paul snuffed it out this time and held them to a gain of, not even 2, Bob.
No.
In 65, Brian Payne was in on the tackle for the Crusaders on that play. About 3 minutes left.
Gentlemen, this has the makings of a super ball game here. We're down to 2:56 remaining till halftime. The Bulldogs need to get something going here now to take that momentum away. It looked like good defense there as Chris Jameson is tripped up.
Number 10, Joey Pound, did a good job filling from the secondary. Read the play well and forced Jameson wide in the backfield. St. Paul's defense, good pursuit, chased him down for little or no gain. Well, I gave no gain. It ends up 3rd and 8.
Coach Sherbrooke, you think the Crusaders are going to be coming on this punt?
Yeah, I think so, Bob. In large numbers. We see that they have 3 men deep, so the most that they could rush is 9.
I think Coach Dobie's got his fingers crossed on this snap.
Well, if Don Birch would want to come up with a good snap, now would be the time. Very crucial.
There it is. That's better. Not much. Oh, a big rush from the outside. Just missed. Here, St. Paul's is going to have good field position there as the runner just lowers his head and comes up to about the 43-meter line for St. Paul's.
Tim Lang almost blocked that one, Bob. Good rush from the outside right. They did stuff the middle, maybe that's part of the problem. It was a good snap that time, but they have been putting a lot of pressure up the middle, so maybe that's what's causing those high snaps.
Well, Christensen and Dean were downfield to make the tackle for the Bulldogs, and there seems to be a shaking up St. Paul Crusader. I think it's number 54. That would make it Carl Sear, and he's on the offensive line for the St. Paul's Crusaders. I think he's one of the guards.
There's the trainers out to attend to him. And
Here's
so
a very important drive for St. Paul's, Bob. With 2:20 left in the game, if they can put another one on the board, they're right back into it. The momentum swings back their way. Otherwise, I think Churchill will go in with the upper hand, leading 14-7. And I think it's their choice in the second half. I'm not sure. I didn't see who started out, but I know that St. Paul's kicked off to Churchill.
I think St. Paul's should have been the home team because of better record. I think they're working it that way.
Well, I would think so, because they came in 7-0, and Churchill came in 6-1 in the crossover.
I noticed it was kind of interesting here. St. Paul's Crusaders, all 5 of their coaches are former students, and that's nice to see. There's a score for you viewers at home, whether you're watching this on Wednesday afternoon or Saturday morning. There's a score of 14-7. If you're watching this Saturday morning, get out to see the winner of this game play the Tech Bach Hornets at 1 o'clock at the Velodrome. 2:20 remaining. 1st and 10.
Is a vocal
Crusaders.
Bulldogs fan?
Oh, a little bad timing on that play. I think I don't think the Bulldogs can decline this, can they, Coach Gustafson? Or
I don't think the ball was snapped, so there was
no
no play initiated, so I'm pretty sure they have to take the penalty.
Well, number 15, Pura, was offside for the Crusaders on the play. He just got the wrong count number.
Well, that's part of the problem with cracking back like that with your outside receiver. If the timing's not right, the play doesn't work, and in this instance, he was early, and they didn't even get the snap off.
Probably it would have been a pitch play then, I guess.
1st and 15. Steidel's a veteran quarterback. He played for Calvin last year. There's the pitch. I believe it's to Harewood, and he goes for maybe 4 or 5 meters, and they're going to have a 2nd and 10 situation. I will probably see the Crusaders put the ball in the air.
We'll have to check, Coach. It looked like they went unbalanced again that time, so we'll have to keep an eye and see if they're doing more of that upfield in 1st, 2nd down situations instead of just on 3rd and short.
There's Steidel. He drops. He's looking to this side of the field. Nice fake. He pulls the ball down, and he's going to run, but number 40, missed him. Number 40, rookie linebacker. That's Jerry DePapp, I think, a middle linebacker. He's just in grade 11. He had him cold. He's a hard man to bring down in the open.
Well, very fortunate for Churchill. As he scrambled out that, he tucked the ball and turned up. Charles Tater, number 14, was sitting wide open in the flat. We'll probably... we don't get a view of him, but he was wide open, had the 1st down distance, and probably would have picked up maybe 15, 20 in running after he caught the football.
Right now, Tom, the Crusaders are going to be kicking into this wind. It will be interesting to see here.
Well, we have Andrews back for the Bulldogs, and
probably Don Birch, I think.
Probably, or perhaps Urso.
Urso, you're right, yeah. He's played a little more in that position the last few games. There's the kick. It really hangs, and Urso, a nice sure-handed catch. He popped through the first man, but again, good tackling there. I thought he was just on his way, but...
Well, Bob, we have 1 minute and 38 seconds left to play in this first half. The score is 14-7 for the Churchill Bulldogs. Jamison has scored 2 touchdowns for the Bulldogs, and Harewood has 1 for St. Paul's. And all the converts have been good, so it's 14-7.
I know high school football fans are being treated here to football at its best. This has just been a super ball game so far. 1:38 remaining till halftime, and the Bulldogs would love to put either 7 or 3 points on here before halftime, that's for sure. There's the give, no running room that time, only a couple of meters straight ahead.
I believe it was Jamison on the carry. It was straight ahead to the offset man in the power eye.
Arnie Taylor, our PA man, he doesn't miss too many of those ball carriers, so he's unreal.
You should wire into him, Bob. We get it always right.
I think so. I got to check those glasses that he uses for these games.
So it's going to be 2nd and 8, Bob. We have Birch flanked wide right.
There's DeStasio. He hangs it up to Sanderson, and Sanderson makes the catch. He's in the 1st down territory. And George, Ron being an extra receiver, I'll let you call this because it looked like Sanderson really timed his jump well on that play.
What was good? What they did is they split their backs, gave some maximum protection. Sanderson just went down and ran a slant, and the ball's delivered. He goes up and catches it right up. He caught a good position. He had his body between him and the defender, caught the football, tucked it away on the hit, and then kept his balance and picked up another 3 yards after the catch. A good football play. Good throw by DeStasio. If it's thrown anywhere else, if it's high, you might lose Sanderson for the rest of the game, getting his legs chopped out. If it's anywhere else, underthrown, it may be intercepted. So it's a good football play. Sanderson was a running back last year also, Bob.
Yes, he's just
backup running back. They felt at Churchill that he was a little light to go with the type of offense that they run, the power offense off tackle and up the middle, so they moved him out to receiver, and it's proved to be very beneficial to both Churchill and to George. He's getting more playing time, and they found a very competent receiver in George Sanderson.
And bad news for the rest of the league. George is only in grade 11.
Well, I know George scored a touchdown in that opening game we did this year against River East. He also scored a touchdown against us. I don't know how he
scored one against us. Ran a beautiful post pattern. He caught the ball between two people and turned it upfield, and there it was. I said he's turned into a very good football player.
Yes, he's in excellent shape. I noticed watching the Bulldogs of spring training, he's leading all the distance runs, that's for sure. There's DeStasio back to pass. He's looking this side of the field to Birch, down and out at about 20 meters. Oh, just overthrown a bit. And Birch didn't have a chance on that one. It was just overthrown. Good coverage in the play by 21. We've called him before. That's Scott Sangster, the backup quarterback, grade 12 student. And it's going to bring up, let me see here, 2nd and 10 situation. I like that passing and first down.
Well, if DeStasio doesn't throw that one, if he throws it short, there was good coverage on the play, it's intercepted, and then it's just a run for the goal line because it was thrown to the wide side of the field, and then it's just chase him down and see who's got the best angle. But it was a good throw.
There's a shot of Brian Dobie in the background talking to Dennis Fenton there, the defensive coordinator. There they are, both of those gentlemen. They're both teachers at Churchill. There's DeStasio, back to pass. He gets a good rush. Oh, I don't know how Tony held on to that ball. Good penetration by the Crusaders in that play.
Well, I think it was number 54, Carl Sear, who was shaken up previous in this game, and he was one of the Maples Marauders, one of the St. Paul's Crusaders in to make the tackle. Not the only one, but one of them. And they're pretty fired up on that St. Paul's defense.
Well, there were a lot of people in that offensive backfield of Churchill that time. If we had a replay, there was a few of the offensive linemen standing around as DeStasio went down. So I'm sure Coach Dobie will have something to say about that at halftime.
That's right. Mulvaney back to punt here with 45 seconds remaining to halftime. The Bulldogs need a good snap. They get a little better one than they have been getting. They stop the outside rush. Good protection that time, but but it's taken by the up man. A good tackle on the play. There's Urso and number
54.
54.
Chris Jamison, or Jamie Christensen.
Yeah, you can tell by that helmet. That helmet started out the season bright blue, and it's all chipped away. There's a picture, Jamie 54 on your screen.
It's pretty well scarred because he's seeing offensive and defensive duty tonight.
Jamie was a good football player last year, and of course he played in the All-Star, North-South All-Star game that the Bombers held, and it's really improved his skills. And if you notice, he does dominate a lot in the play when he's out there. Good speed and good size.
There's Len Sitter, the head coach of the St. Paul's Crusaders, relaying some instructions to number 20, Tim Lang.
Steidel gave to Harewood. Arnie Taylor picked it up right away there, and Harewood goes ahead for maybe 3-4 meters. That's going to bring up probably 2nd and 6 situation for the Crusaders.
And Christensen was on the initial hit too.
Crusaders going with a little hurry-up offense here. Doesn't give the Bulldogs time to do any substituting. That's smart play here.
They just went unbalanced again.
Yeah.
Unbalanced to the right. That's right. The nose guard, I think, has slid over a bit for the Bulldogs. And gee, Darren Greengrass held his ground real well there. I was watching him, the nose guard for Churchill, but Jamie Christensen again in on the tackle, the left defensive end.
Well, we're down to about 21 seconds left, Bob. Scores 14-7 in favor of the Churchill Bulldogs.
Now here we have question time. Churchill's just called timeout. They go for the block. If they block it, they put themselves in position to get points again, and again, more momentum going in. St. Paul's going to have to execute well on the punt team so that they don't give up more points.
I really like this St. Paul center. He's just been very accurate tonight with those snaps. They're coming right back, waist high, number high, and it was blocking that really broke down on that. Jamie Christensen breaking through to block the punt. The snap was excellent. It was just somehow Jamie just split a little seam in there in the blocking, and the important thing was he just jumped to that area where the ball was going to be, and a very smart play. That's that's been a big play, I think, in the game so far.
Yeah, well, he did a good job in putting himself in position to make the block, and if he did miss it, he was in such shape that he would not run into the kicker, and that's whenever we worked with our people that are trying to block punch, you want to make sure that they don't rough that kicker if they miss.
That's a good point. That's right. There's a ground level shot of the Crusaders coming out over the ball there.
I believe it's number 55 doing the third down snaps, and that would be Robin Gruette.
Yeah, Robin's a grade 12 veteran player. Oh, they fake it with Pira taking off to the right, but the Bulldogs were ready for it. I believe that's Lauren Davies. We'll wait till he get up there. A super play by number 10, the left corner linebacker.
It's going to give Churchill Bulldogs fantastic field position with these last 17 seconds.
I don't know if young Pura took off on his own. No, it looked like it was a And there's Davies with the play. A nice play. That's a veteran corner linebacker.
He had good position. He kept his leverage. It kept him in the pocket and didn't give him leverage to get outside off the clock. Now we see if Churchill will throw to the end zone for one play before they try to kick the field goal.
Well, they're on the
see what happens.
They're on the 26-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders with 17 seconds left.
Some of these St. Paul's fans are twitching on that last call. I don't believe it. There's John Andrews. He goes straight ahead. The ball comes loose. It's taken by the Crusaders, but it's after the whistle, so the Bulldogs get about a 5-meter gain on the play. 14 seconds remaining to halftime.
This will be interesting. They've started the clock. It'll be interesting whether they can get off another play and then kick the field goal. 8, 7, 6. It will be close.
I think this will be the last play.
It's going to be the last play. D'Estasio's got to go for it all. He's looking for Sanderson deep. Sanderson, no, it's going to be intercepted. I think knocked down. And the Bulldogs come up empty. The score at halftime is 14-7 in favor of Churchill as the gun goes. And what a super first half of football. There's a shot of some of the crowd heading for the coffee shop here at the Velodrome. And fellas, we're going to have to wrap it up right now. It's just been a super first half. You people at home, we're going to be away for 12 minutes. You have only got about a minute to grab a coffee or something. So we'll be right back with third quarter action in a couple of minutes. Crusaders and the Churchill Bulldogs. The Bulldogs lead at this point 14-7. I've got Ron Gustafson, the head coach of the Grant Park Pirates, with me, and Tom Sherbrick from the Sisler Spartans. And gentlemen, I'm going to ask you first, Ron, or what do you think the Crusaders have got to do to get back in this ball game?
I just think they have to quit making mistakes. They fumbled the football away twice, and then they had the interference call on Churchill's second touchdown drive. If they stay away from that, who knows? It could be a 7-0 ball game for St. Paul's instead of 14-7 for Churchill.
That's right. I thought they came on a bit at the end. Tom, how about your impressions there?
Well, I was in agreement with Ron there. I believe that St. Paul's made a few mistakes in that first half, and it cost them 2 touchdowns. They got one back of their own with Harewood making a good effort, but I think St. Paul's is going to have to open it up a little bit in this second half, perhaps go with the play-action pass, fake a back into the line and see if you can't hit something over the middle or deep downfield. And we're going to see a good game, no doubt about it. It's 14-7, and the winner of this game goes on to meet the Tech-Voc Hornets in the final next Saturday here at the Velodrome. And I'm just expecting to see a whale of a second half here, Bob.
I know that wind is a real factor down at ground level. We were out there at halftime, and I think St. Paul's being the home team, somehow they might have arranged things to get the, well, I guess maybe to get the win in the last quarter. We'll wait and see. We're not sure about that. I see the nose guard, Tony Wall, being helped back out onto the field for the Churchill Bulldogs. That's bad news. They're going to have to go for a rookie at nose guard for the second half of this ball game. I shouldn't say a rookie, a second-year player, Darren Greengrass, to get lots of playing time.
Well, you have to consider what's going on there. St. Paul's has the wind at their back and kicking, so I'm sure they're going to hope to put Churchill deep in that end and again come up with a good defensive series, force Churchill to punt into the wind, and then maybe they can get another quick touchdown and get back, tie that ball game up.
There's a great crowd shot. This is the biggest crowd we've had this year, beyond a doubt, that's for sure, and that's mainly the St. Paul section. There's another switch over to the other side. Those are some girls down harassing our health.
I think that's an impromptu cheerleading group down there, Bob.
Yeah, they look a little impromptu there. Elf Carboni, this is quite an assignment he's drawn tonight. This guy thrives on this kind of work.
As we scan the crowd, Bob, it's interesting to see how the other high school football teams line up for their teams they want to win. I noticed down in front of us we have some Kelvin Clippers here cheering for St. Paul's, and over on the far sideline I noticed 5 or 6 of my guys from Grand Park over there cheering for Churchill. So they kind of pick their teams as they go through the playoffs and kind of try to cheer them on.
That's right.
There's also a lot of junior football coaches in the crowd tonight. I've noticed some of the St. Vital Mustangs junior football team coaches, and I was talking to Coach Bob Raffy of the Fort Garry Lions at halftime, and many of these coaches are out here scouting for potential prospects for next year's Manitoba Junior Football League.
We're just a few seconds away from kickoff here now, as the Bulldogs are still in their huddle. The Crusaders are ready to kick off. They're waiting for the Bulldogs to get set here.
Well, they picked a good game, Tom, to come and scout some prospective ball players, because there's some good ones out there tonight in this one.
I think Ed Blonsky, number 27, is going to handle the kicking chores here for the Crusaders, and he did a good job opening up the game, and they're I know the Bulldogs are respecting him. They're down their goal line waiting for this ball to come down. He gets a high kick. It comes down around the 10-meter line, and the Crusaders are on the way. I think that's that style. It's got to be Chris Jameson. He brings the ball out to around the 33-meter line, and the Bulldogs, not a bad run to start things off here for them, and they'll be going into a stiff win here in the third quarter.
Well, their linemen on a kickoff return, they drop back and they cross over and try to pick up people on the opposite side of the ball and try to open up, and then they have their back line behind them run a wedge up the middle, and they have had success over the last couple of years with excellent special teams work.
That was just a shot of Randy Ives, Mike Dean, the left side there, the offensive line for the Bulldogs, and Vistasio still remains in as the quarterback, and he gives straight ahead for looks like about a 4-meter gain. We'll wait till they unpile. I couldn't pick up if that was
John Andrews, number 34.
Looked like Steve Poor, Chris Jameson leading the blocker.
Albrechtson made the tackle for the St. Paul's Crusaders. He wears number 61.
Yes, his brother played last year, very effective player for the Crusaders, and the young Robert we're talking about now, just in grade 11, he'll be back next year. 2nd and 6 situation now for the Bulldogs as they try to establish a little momentum here to start the second half. They lead 14-7. They give to the second man, Andrews. He's going to be about maybe 1-2 meters short of a first down. It'll be decision time early here for Coach Doby.
Well, I don't think he wants to make a mistake this early. We'll have to sit and wait and see. But 3rd and 2, that's pretty good distance to try to pick up with the way St. Paul's has been defending them so far in this ball game. If they turn the ball over here inside their 45-meter line, you know, we could put St. Paul's right back into the ball game.
That's wide receiver Don Birch down on the field being attended to. The Bulldogs sub in right away with him. For him with 6'6" receiver Dave Gallus. I know you worked with Dave last year, Ron, so you're quite familiar, I know, with a lot of these Churchill players.
Well, spending 5 years there makes you very familiar with that. You can get familiar with the kids coming up and what the programs are.
You didn't have to teach these guys in class, did you?
Oh, sure. They weren't 6'6" when I taught them, so things were a little easier then.
There goes Birch. He looks like he's okay.
There's one of our cameramen down there.
Karen Beauchamp out to attend to him, and I think a smile from Karen, that can get rid of a lot of pain in a hurry.
I don't think it's going to have to be a pretty serious injury to keep the people out of this ball game. They're here to play football, and they're ready to go at it.
They're going to be going for it, Bob. Mulvaney isn't in, and they line up in their normal set.
Yeah, it looks like 3rd and a very long one to go for it. They give to Andrews, the second man. No way.
Oh, he didn't get it, Bob.
We'll see.
No, he's short, Bob. He's short, Bob.
We're going to have a real nice, probably high-level play in this. Tom, you take it away here. We're going to have a nice high-level shot, probably.
Well, there's the tail end of it. It was the off-tackle play or a dive right up the middle to Andrews, and there were a number of Crusaders in on the tackle.
All the coaches and reporters are putting a little asterisk beside that play up here in the press box.
That could be the key play.
First down, Crusaders. There's Steidl, slight roll to his left. He looks deep. And that's, I believe, pure, a one-handed, no! He almost made a remarkable reception there.
Excellent effort trying to catch that football.
Well, I watched Pure on that play. He was the wide receiver on the left side, and he sort of ran a kind of a post flag where he came in over towards the middle, running towards the goalpost, and then back out again towards the flag. And he got one hand on it, but it wasn't enough.
Seems like there's always a lot of electricity when these two teams play. I'm just thinking back over about maybe 3 games I've seen them play the last few years. They've all been dandy games, and they just get up to play each other, that's for sure. Nice play fake. He looks like he wants to throw deep again. He fakes one way, keeps the ball. A lot of poise being showed by Steidl. Oh, and finally, Jamie Christensen arrives on the scene. Look at that battered helmet, and he's the last guy you want to have to be looking up and be confronted with Jamie.
Well, Steidl had 3 receivers downfield. He had number 26, Rob Dick, and number 14, Tetro, and 15, Puro, but they were all covered.
Excellent job in the secondary. We'll take a look here, Bob, as he comes toward us on the camera. I think he had a lot of sideline in front of him if he would have taken off. If he goes now, we didn't get the shot downfield, but he had 15, 20 meters of running room in front of him.
So it brings up a 3rd down situation, and we have Pura back for the punt.
There we go. There's the kick off the side of his foot. Not a good kick with the wind. And Rick Urso takes his time. He charges the ball. And Rick doesn't have much finesse. Look at that kid go. He's going to blow it, I think. There he goes. No. He's over midfield. He's still going. He's down to the 45-meter line of the Crusaders. A fine run by Rick Urso. Not bad for a linebacker, Ron.
Well, we had Rick carry the football when he was in grade 10, and he didn't run like that, I'll guarantee you that. But he did an excellent job. Fielded the ball on the short hop, took off, split the seam, and he ran over 3 people when he got to midfield. Excellent football play.
Well, Robin Gruette made the tackle for the St. Paul's Crusaders, and I think Dobie is so happy with the effort of Urso that he's left him in for this offensive series. And here we see him running downfield, and he just takes on one tackler there head on, and just a super return.
That was Joey Pound that felt the wrath of young Urso in that play. But anyways, first down here for the Bulldogs. They're at the 45 of St. Paul's. There goes John Andrews inside, cuts outside, lowers his head, nice run.
Well, he was able to bounce off number 26, Rob Dick, and get extra meterage on the play. And he has a good ability of doing that, of lowering his shoulder and hitting the oncoming defender and bouncing off of him and continuing forward upfield.
I can't believe he was able to turn that up in just the amount of room he had to turn it up. It was a real fine run there. And it gives another first down for the Bulldogs as they look to be around, I think, the 33-meter line here, the Crusaders, and they're on the march here with 8:53 remaining in the third quarter.
We just had a good shot of the left side of that offensive line of Churchill in the huddle. Young Ives and Mike Dean, they're doing an excellent job out there.
That's right, that's the underrated side. They don't get much publicity, those guys, with Churchill running a lot to their left. There goes Urso, but he's going nowhere this time. Good team defense, no roughing on the play. There shouldn't be. Just a good defensive play by number 54 and number 20.
20 is Tim Lang.
54, Carl Sayer, one of the veteran defensive linemen there. A nice play by the Crusaders.
Urso seems to be lining up in that offset back position. That's usually where Chris Jameson, number 20, lines up.
Joe Pound did another good job as he saw motion coming to his side. He filled and forced Urso to run wide and allowed the St. Paul's defense to pursue and tackle him for a loss. Playing an excellent football game tonight.
Second and 14 situation for the Bulldogs. DeStasio keeps it basic, gives to Andrews inside, and Andrews is still churning away. He's not near a first down, but he gets good yardage, probably a 10-meter gain. And again, it's decision time for the Bulldogs. It'll be a third down, and I imagine that they are, well, here comes Mulvaney into the game. I don't think there's much doubt about that.
Well, no, especially we've commented about the breeze all night long. It's blowing into the face of the Churchill kickers, and I don't think they want to risk a field goal attempt and have it blown down. The ball brought back to the line of scrimmage. I think they just soon punt it, try to get him down deep, and then let their defense take over.
There we go. Birch still remains in as the third down snap here. Young Mulvaney seems like he's a long way back in meters, but I guess he's not. I guess he's 15 back. Maybe that could be why the ball's taking so long to get there. There's a better snap, and there's the rush. And Mulvaney gets a good kick into the wind. The left-footed kicker kicks hard to handle. It's handled by Tetro, number 14. And all of a sudden, there's DePap, number 40. And I believe Rick Urso, another one in on the tackle.
36. Ron Birch, 33, is in on it also.
Good teams, coverage. Good special teams. There's some of the girls from Churchill out here cheering on their squad. There's a good shot of number 50, one of the big linemen for the St. Paul's Crusaders. That's Chris Manella. I believe that's Rue's younger son.
St. Paul's is going to start off in some of the field position they had it, I believe, was in the first quarter of this game, and they were pinned deep more or less for the whole first quarter.
And we see Tetro back in the ball game. Remember, he limped off with about 4 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, so there's the give to, here we go. There's Peter Harewood. He breaks loose to this side. And Cam Parliament, the last man, he beats him. He's on his way. He's headed down the sidelines. He's down at the 15, the 10, the 5. Touchdown, Crusaders.
No flags either, Bob.
Everybody's looking for red flags. There are none. What a play by Peter Harewood, and that makes the score 14-13. Woo!
Excellent play. They came off tackle. He turned it up. Again, here we get a replay of it. They go, he cut back against.
Just cut back.
And there's not too many people that are going to chase this man down once he gets open. A good move right there. Another arm tackle. He just turns it up.
Number 25, Cam Parliament, had his chance, but Harewood broke free. Touchdown.
What a play.
What was that, about 94-meter run, Bob? It was pretty close, 94, 95.
Just tremendous. Here's the convert, the all-important convert. It's undercut, but it's good. The direction was right on. We've got a 14-14 ball game, and already people are saying, how about some overtime? Listen to these St. Paul I was going to say cheerleaders, but they're too old for that. Oh, 7 minutes to go in the third quarter.
There you see the score, 14-all. 7 minutes left.
What an advertisement for high school football. I can imagine some people sitting in one of the establishments tomorrow afternoon tuning this in on the giant screen, wondering if they're maybe down in Dallas or somewhere. Just tremendous. What a run by Peter Harewood. I didn't think he had that kind of speed. I think of him more as a real tough inside runner who can break the odd one for, maybe 15, 20 meters, but he just turned it on there in the open field.
Well, he broke 2 against us. One was about 80 meters, the other one was about 45, and we had no one to chase him down. Again, they had good position. He left himself plenty of room on the sideline once he got around Parliament to give himself room to move, and that's what he did. He took it outside.
Blonsky's kick. It's not a very good one this time, and I think Birch has the ball, and he's up to about the 38-meter line, so the Bulldogs have nice field position.
I think we've got to remember that Harewood's going both ways for St. Paul's, and you would think maybe after almost 3/4 of playing both ways, the boy might be a little tired, but didn't show any ill effects there, and scampered the 94 meters for the touchdown.
Well, he's back out there defensively, Tom. We'll be interested to see if Churchill tries to attack him, run at him to see if he's still got the stamina to go at it.
1st and 10 Bulldogs. D'Estasio is the quarterback. He fakes to Andrews. He's gonna, he just misses a shot from the back from the blitzing linebacker. The pass goes incomplete. I noticed Tony the other day at practice, I was watching him, and he's wearing a flak jacket there to protect his back. I think that's a very smart. I don't know how many of the high school quarterbacks are wearing them, but I think it's a good maneuver.
Well, I noticed number 36, Rick Urso, is still in the backfield for the Churchill Bulldogs, and I'm wondering if maybe Jameson has been felled by some kind of injury.
I know Chris was banged up a little bit in our game when they played Grand Park, and I just wonder if he's aggravated that. I think he had a deep Charlie horse in his thigh.
2nd and 10. D'Estasio straight back. Some good blocking, gives Tony lots of time. He hangs the ball up a little too long, and it's knocked down. A good defensive play. We'll give credit to, I believe it's number 21 there. We called him before many a time tonight. That's Scott Sangster, the backup quarterback. Good defensive play. Coach Sitter helps him up, throws him back into the fray. And then there's some happy fans, and there's the pass again.
We saw in the replay Tony D'Estasio throw a pump, so we have to assume that Don Birch ran an out and up. They tried to get Sangster to bite on the out and then throw it up, but he did a good job and stayed back in his coverage and knocked the ball down.
You can't just hang the ball. You can't hang the ball up that long, especially throwing into a breeze like they are here. There's a high snap, but Mulvaney gets the kick away in good time. Not a bad kick. It's to the wide side of the field here. Number 14, Tetro, fields the ball, but all of a sudden the swarm is there.
There's the coverage again. Number 64 was downfield.
And the way people are scrambling around, I think there was a fumble, and the indication is St. Paul's ball.
Number 40 was also downfield for the Churchill Bulldogs. That's Gary DePape, and Urso, number 36, Rick Urso.
Yeah, young DePape has got a lot of playing time for a rookie. He came up, I believe, through the Fort Rouge Packer Bantam organization. It's nice to see them work in those kids. That's a nice feeder system they got going at Churchill, and I know they got some good players coming up next year from the pack. 1st down, though, St. Paul's, as they got the momentum, they give to Tetro. There's a little bit of blocking, but a fine play over on the right side. We've got to wait till the umpire, but usually...
that's Belange's side. I just wonder if he made the tackle.
That's Rob Steidl.
I believe it was Belange, number 88.
Rob
outside linebacker.
Showed a lot of poise. The first year playing for St. Paul's, but he'd played for Kelvin the year before that. Second and 10 situation. No gain on that last play.
I think Churchill's come with a blitz here.
There, Steidl was looking for a look in. He waited just a second too long, and I think Michael Dean got him from the blind side. We'll wait till the umpire. There he is, a super play by number 50, Michael Dean. And I know the coaches are going to be happy with that play, as Michael and Jamie Christensen, their 54, are going 2 ways.
They've run this play before, Bob. They send their backs in motion one way, and Seidel just comes up and throws the quick look into the outside receiver left. This time, the Churchill defense shut it down, and he had to pull it down. You see him look, and then he pulls it down. Here you see Mike Dean come and make the hit.
The quarterback was lucky to hold on to the ball on that play. Wow, what a blindside shot that was. 3rd and 13. There's no choice here for the Crusaders. They got to kick away. There's Pura, takes his time, and another sort of poor punt with the wind. There's Andrews, plays it safely. It's going out of bounds, and John just sort of handles it out of bounds there, and the Bulldogs are going to take over. It looks to be about we'll count off the meters here, their own 25-meter line.
The punt took a good St. Paul's bounce if you're a St. Paul's fan, and it's going to drive that Churchill offensive scheme of things back a little further to begin this offensive series.
You know, Tom, what I can't believe, our handheld cameraman, take a look over here to your right. Ron, take a look over here to the right at that camera. And can you believe that somehow he got through the crowd to get up here? Do you believe it? We don't want people to know we just broadcast using the monitor. Get out of here. First and 10. There's Jameson, straight off right guard. It looks like about a 4-meter gain. Again, that defense bends a bit in there, but St. Paul's isn't going to give you too much between the tackles, straight ahead. Jameson slow on piling, but that's a little bit of a limp too there. There's Chris going back to the huddle. He had a super quarterfinal game. Wow. That seems like it was so long ago. Who would they play, Tom? I can't remember.
That was Daniel Mack.
That's terrible. Daniel McIntyre.
Yeah, 30-0 score that
That's
night.
Chris's best game that I can remember as a high school player.
It could have been that Daniel was keying on Andrews coming into that.
Although tonight he's only scored 2 touchdowns. That's not too bad. There's Andrews sliding off to this side, but they're going to be 2 or 3 meters short of a first down here. And again, I think you'll see the Dogs kick the ball away in this
they'll
play.
kick this time. After last time, I think they should have kicked the ball away. Maybe they figured they could run off tackle and pick it up. But I think they're a little deep right here to try anything with 3rd and 2.
Well, we have 3 minutes and 49 seconds left in the third quarter, and the score is 14-all. Churchill's got 2 touchdowns tonight from Jameson, and St. Paul's has 2 touchdowns from Harewood.
There's a snap. It takes his time getting there, but Mulvaney's doing a good job getting away. A good kick into the wind this time as Pure rushes the ball, takes it to the wide side of the field. He was turned in there, but he's still going, I believe. He's over by the Bulldog bench, finally ran out of bounds. A super return, and Tom, can you believe that kid's only grade 10? What a ball player.
Well, he's going to spell trouble for at least 2 more years as far as opponents of St. Paul's Crusaders go. And we're going to see on the punt that number 15 Pure takes this punt on the run and heads over towards the left sideline and is able to get around the corner and turn upfield. And Parliament finally makes a tackle to drive him out of bounds. I think he got a few good blocks on this run back as well.
Well, I think Cam Parliament saved the touchdown on that one. He made up for the miss he had against Harewood before.
Here's a pitch to Harewood and a nice 5-meter run off right tackle as he just lowered his shoulder and it was a heck of a collision when they finally brought him down. I thought I'd been hearing music in the background, and there they are.
Jazz. This is St. Paul's band. A little out of tune.
Well, I noticed cheerleaders here. I should give them a plug from St. Mary's. A tremendous turnout from St. Mary's School tonight. Now, I can see why with all these good-looking guys around. 2nd and 6 situation here for the Crusaders is all of a sudden they've got a little momentum here. They give inside to Contafio. He breaks the first tackle, but he's going to be about 3 meters short of a first down. A nice play in the middle there. I see Belanger getting up off the pile and DePape.
Also 44. That's Jeff Getty who's in on the tackle. There's Paul Contafio, number 22. He's the up back in the I scheme for the St. Paul's team.
One of the finest corner linebackers in the league. There's not much doubt about that. I think he proved that last year in some of those playoff games that he played.
I see number 27's in the lineup for St. Paul's. It looks like a field goal attempt.
Yeah, Ed Blonsky here could really boom the ball, so we'll see. I think I would give it a try, too. I'll be surprised if they fake it here. A good snap. There's the kick. Davies almost blocked it, but it looks like it might go for a single. 25 Parliament lets it go in the end zone, and I'm sure he'll give up a single here. He kneels down, and there it is. 15-14 in favor of the St. Paul's Crusaders, and it's only 1 point, but St. Paul's will gladly take it. In this game, the points are hard to come by. There's a shot of Cam Parliament and some of the Bulldogs headed back towards their bench, and there's a score for you viewers at home, 15-14, and the winner of this game advances to play the Tech Block Hornets Saturday afternoon here at the Velodrome. And again, this has just been a super semi-final matchup, and we should mention in the first game tonight, the Tech Block Hornets got off to a sensational first quarter, and then they just cruised to a victory there, Tom, in that game against the Maples. A real the downer of a game if you're the Maples fan, but
well, Maples relies on a running attack, and it just got shut down completely by that Tech Block defense. And Derek Morrow, played a great game for Tech.
There's Destasio. He finds, I believe that's Birch, out for a nice 9-meter gain on the play. The Bulldogs will gladly take that as a
Just a little quick out pattern, Bob. Birch ran about a 6-yard out, and Destasio got him the football. The defensive back was playing a little off, and he caught the football and turned upfield. And we were looking at second and about 7.5 meters or 3.5 meters to go.
I believe there's an injured player. It's not a. I don't believe it was. They took a timeout there. Oh, there, the trainer.
There's Christensen down on one knee with the helmet off, and he's up. Seems to be all right.
I wonder if that's an equipment problem. He had his helmet off fairly quickly, so I wonder if he popped something on his helmet and he wanted to make sure he got that taken care of and not to cost his team too much time.
That's when you see a little panic over in the bench.
Whoa, for sure. 52 seconds left and counting down in this third quarter.
2nd and 3. Big play here for the Bulldogs. They give to Andrews, and I think he's going to be 1 meter short when they mark it to his forward point of advance. Good defense.
Good play by Peter Harewood. Took on Andrews. And excellent hit both ways. He stood him up, and he ended up short. I think it's going to end up 3rd and 1 meter to go.
You know, I was just thinking last year, the Crusaders, they finally broke through, won their first championship ever, and I think, they know they can win now. They've broken that that bubble.
50-year jinx is out of the way.
That's right. They know how to win. There's no doubt about that, and this is shaping up to be a super 4th quarter coming up as the clock is running. Oh, finally, Churchill says timeout. They just weren't sure what they wanted to do there. That'll be their first timeout this half. They're allowed 1 more, and again, timeouts are vital. I think it's a good idea to take it, even though maybe you don't want to take it this early, but if you're not sure in the 3rd and 1 what to do.
I see Coach Sitters bring his entire defense over. I think he's going to impress upon them the fact that if they stop him here, they're going to take over the ball on the Churchill 40-meter line.
There's a close-up of the meeting over at the Churchill bench. They only have a couple of their players over there discussing, and I think Coach Normando called one of his linemen over there to talk about some blocking scheme probably. There's Daryl Mazer and some of the other assistant coaches there, Paul Normando, Dennis Fenton.
That's Dennis doing the pointing there.
Dave Boness is over there somewhere.
Well, Paul Normando coaches their offensive line. He's been there for about 5 or 6 years and does an excellent job with them. He gets a lot out of everyone that puts forth, and as you watch tonight, we've commented, they really come off the football well.
3rd and 1, here we go. Showdown time. They give to Andrews, and he pops through, and it's going to be close. It looked like his forward momentum has got it, but we'll wait to where they mark the ball, and real good surge there over
He's
Jamie.
so quick coming through the hole there, Bob.
Jamie Christensen, Luke Holt. There's Luke Holt limping, big number 57. He must weigh about 270 pounds, the right tackle.
Well, it's a Churchill first down.
Good effort by Andrews. The hole was plugged. He went up and over and picked up the 1st down.
The airborne route.
Not very many penalties tonight. Just a pleasure to watch this ball game. It's been moving along at a real nice pace. This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. We're down to about 8 seconds. There's DeStasio passing out here to Sanderson, but the pass is way short, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 situation with 4 seconds remaining.
I think George was just running a little out pattern, and he was being covered by number 20, Tim Lang.
That's the same pattern they ran to Birch earlier. They just run the 6-yard out, try to get him the football underneath the defensive back and let him turn him up. And hopefully if the defensive back feels wrong, it's 6 points.
There's a terrific turnout there. Those are junior high students, and I believe they're from the Churchill area over there, as they really promote football in that general area.
It's going to be the last play in the 3rd quarter, Bob.
There's DeStasio. They just give to John Andrews for about 4 meters, a little conservative, but they realize that they're going to be switching ends, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score 15-14 in favor of the St. Paul's Crusaders. And Coach Gustafson just about had the big one on that. I think that fan got it. But anyway, St. Paul's Crusaders 15, Churchill Bulldogs 14, and just a super game here at the Velodrome. This is a 2nd game of our semifinal matchups tonight. Tech Bach won the 1st game, so they're going to play the winner of this game next Saturday.
You'll be able to watch this game that we're broadcasting tonight, tomorrow being Wednesday, November 2nd, and also I believe you're going to be able to see it on Saturday morning, November the 5th. Just to recap the scoring, Jameson 2 touchdowns for Churchill and Harewood 2 for St. Paul's. Both teams got their converts, and Blonsky missed a field goal for St. Paul's but got a single point, so it's 15-14.
Good snap.
St. Paul's.
This time there's the rush, but I think it's a little bit late. Oh, he's close again to blocking. We're just a split second away. 14, Tetro takes the ball, puts a good move in the first man, but Rick Urso says no way. And that is where St. Paul's will scrimmage the ball. It looks to be down around their own 32-meter line. And it's 4th quarter time here at the Velodrome, and I think this is going to be most entertaining.
Well, Bob, it could just be that a single point might be the scoring difference in this game. It's that tight right now.
I know we sure can't tell up here what we don't have. There isn't any flags blowing out there, so it's hard to evaluate that wind, how bad it is. It doesn't seem to be as much of a factor as it was maybe a quarter ago. Right now, the Crusaders have got to run a little time off this clock.
I think they're unbalanced again, Tom.
Looks like that.
There's the pitch to Harewood. He turns in, hurdles the first tackler, but he's brought down there. I think Getty is one of the players 44 in on the tackle. Just a short gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7 probably coming up here for the Crusaders.
I'm just wondering if Churchill is shifting at all to meet that overbalanced line.
We'll have to check that out because it's pretty difficult when you outnumber them at the point of attack to do anything to stop the play. So if they can adjust over to that unbalance, they should be in pretty good shape.
Here's bad news for Bulldog fans. Jimmy Christensen shaken up in the play, and the trainers are out working on Jamie there, and he's a two-way player, and that would cause the coaches a few fits.
By looking at what the trainers are doing, Bob, it looks like he's got a leg cramp in his right calf, and hopefully for Churchill fans, that's all that it is. I hope it's not anything more serious than that.
I noticed the Bulldogs have sent in number 64. He's a second-year player, Dean Kazmarowicz. He's a backup defensive lineman. He usually fills when any of the linemen go down there.
Well, they're going with now 2 backups on their defensive line because Darren Greengrass, number 68, has replaced Tony Wall, the regular nose tackle.
There's a shot up into the press box area. There's a picture of Arnie Taylor and some of the other motley crew up here. Wow. Look. There's Coach Ron Gustafson with a hat over there to my right. Tom Sherbrooke hidden by the monitor. And we got a couple of rowdy fans in front of us. I think they're from St. Paul's probably.
Father and son team here in front of us.
A father and son act, yeah. There's some more St. Paul's Crusaders. And there's Jamie Christensen going off. He seems to be okay.
I'm Jerry Sherbrooke's brother.
2nd and 6.
There's the pitch to Harewood. They go right to that area where Jamieson had left.
There's a fumble.
There was a loose ball.
It was whistled down.
I guess it's a little late. Number 12 fell on the ball for the Bulldogs. I think that's Harvey, who's been reactivated for this game. He sat out last game with an injury.
Jim Harvey.
And they're short. It'll be third and 2 meters to go.
The coaches check the yardstick, boys. Always that big moment. I saw you can just see Coach Sitter zeroing in. He says timeout.
Well, here's another big decision for Coach Sitter. Here he's got 10:51 left in the ball game. They're 3rd and 2 at their 40-meter line, and again with only a 1-point lead, you'd think that he may want to get rid of the football and make Churchill use up some of that clock and put together a drive to get some points.
You know, I was just thinking, Ron, before the game, there's a lot of chatter around. A lot of people are looking at this game as kind of being a championship. But I think after seeing Tech Vok play tonight, that there is no doubt whoever wins this game and going on to play Tech Vok's really going to have their hands full. Or Tech Vok had real good sort of diversity in their attack tonight. They were running, passing, doing everything. The big key tonight was Ed Janacek was running the ball all over the field, and that's what they have to do to win, and they did it tonight in a very convincing fashion. So there is no way that this game tonight right here is the championship. It's an excellent football game, but whoever plays the Hornets, that'll be the true champion of this football league.
Boy, that's the truth. If Janacek gets involved in that offense and takes out when his receivers are covered and takes out and scrambles, boy, they're tough to contend with.
About 11 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter.
Looks like St. Paul's is going to be punting.
The Bulldogs only sent one man deep, a low snap, but Pure gets a good kick into the wind. I don't know how much of a factor that wind is. Oh, they blow it dead. Well, I guess that's not too bad. If you're a Bulldog fan, I think you'll take that. That's
well,
okay.
We have to wonder, Bob. Like, there's been I guess about 4 or 5 punts into the wind, and they'd whistle down 2 of them, and you wonder what the referees are using as criteria to blow that down.
Yeah, it looked like I don't know if Camp Parliament was a deep back on that time. It looked like he had a chance to catch the ball, maybe advance it a little bit, but the Bulldogs will take over on their own 36-meter line. We'll see what they can get going here in this situation. I wouldn't be surprised to see that play coming back to Chris Jamieson. Has worked a couple of times tonight. Maybe they're saving it for just the right moment. I'm not sure if Chris is back in the game there, but
he appears to be lined up there, Bob.
We'll see shortly.
Here it comes. Here it is.
There's
on the flat. There it is in the flat again.
Oh, there it is. I was in the huddle. First down, Bulldogs, as Jamieson advances up there on the 47-meter line. Nice play, Churchill.
Little play action pass, fake into the line, and then hit Jamieson into the flat.
That play worked for a touchdown, their first touchdown, Bob. And if DeStasio reads the linebacker well, there's not much they can do, St. Paul's defensively, to stop it.
The Bulldogs are on the move here with 10:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. They trail 14-15. A missed field goal giving the Crusaders a big point just a few minutes ago. But the Bulldogs have a slight win now advantage in this fourth quarter. There's the give. I think that's the second man, Andrews, but all of a sudden he comes to an abrupt stop, and a good low tackle by one of the St. Paul's players.
Bob, there may have even been a fumble on the play. Some of the players on the St. Paul's bench were jumping up and down, and the indication looked like it was a fumble, but apparently not. Second down.
Just a very well played game to this point. There's been a few minor mistakes by both teams, but you see that at any level of football. This has just been very entertaining football.
I can't remember a penalty being called. Can you, Bob? I don't remember one being called at all.
No,
maybe a short procedure one or something. That's all I can think of when that receiver came in motion. That's all. There's Nastasio's pass. Oh, it was caught. Nice reception. I think that's Sanderson with the red knee pads. He's easy to pick out of there.
Sanderson.
And what a place to catch that ball, too, right in front of their receiver coach over there.
Well,
All right,
number
George.
20, Tim Lang, went for the interception, and he didn't get it, and Sanderson pulled it down. We'll see it on the replay.
Here we go, Tom.
Drop back, and Nastasio looks to his left, and there's Sanderson right near the sidelines. Good grab.
That's another first down for the Bulldogs. They're down to the 39-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders. Nastasio is moving them via the pass here, and he gives, I think that's, oh, that must, I think
that was Andrews.
That's Andrews, straight ahead, no finesse in that play, probably a 9-meter pickup. Wow.
They hit that hole hard, and Andrews was not to be denied on that one.
Chris Manila made the tackle for St. Paul's, but that was after a gain of perhaps 9 meters.
One of the keys to that play, Bob, is if you watch Chris Jameson as a lead block, he's probably one of the better blocking backs in the league. And when he's going and clicking as a blocking back, boy, it sure makes Andrews' job of carrying that football a lot easier.
That's right, a very unselfish ball player. Second and 1. Oh, they give to no, it's a nice fake. There it is, Sanderson. Oh, just overthrown. A good call by the Bulldogs. Nastasio can't believe it. Whoa. But they've got a third down coming up here with maybe half a meter to go. So nice call, Churchill.
Sanderson was being covered on the play by number 20, Tim Lang, and Sanderson once again had a couple of steps on him, and Nastasio just overthrew him. Seemed to be a play action pass, some kind of faking in the backfield.
That was a good time to run that play. It was second and about half a meter to go, and I'm sure they felt that if it wasn't completed, they'd come back and pick up the first down.
There we go. Good. Oh, there goes Andrews. It made it look easy. Again, Chris Jameson just tore through that off right guard, right tackle area. Wow. I'd hate to be an offensive lineman in front of that guy if he's the back coming up my seat.
If you take it standing up, you're in trouble. I'll guarantee you that.
Well, Tom, you're a line coach, so you can relate to that. Or what a time.
Well, we didn't have backs like Jameson running that quickly and that explosively up into the hole. So our offensive linemen don't have any cleat marks on their back.
You guys did an excellent job, though, running wide, pulling linemen this year. That was your forte?
Yeah, we had Calvin Zankowski. Calvin's coming back next year.
Yeah, he'll tear the league apart, that's for sure. He's a super player, first-year player. Here's Nastasio throwing the ball, but it's, Jameson with a diving attempt, but the ball looked like it was away. No possibility of the reception.
There was also Richardson out there running a pattern just slightly shallower than Jameson's. Richardson, number 30, the tight end.
Sanderson was on the post up the middle, so it looks like the same play again that they scored the touchdown on, the Jameson second touchdown.
Here's a replay of it.
Good coverage by number 26 on the corner.
That's Rob Dick.
Second and 10 situation. The Bulldogs got to be careful here. They don't want to turn the ball over. They want to give Lorne Davies a shot at a field goal. He's got a very strong leg.
We've got Dave Gallus in for Don Birch at the flanker.
Oh, the Bulldogs are going to be called probably too long putting the ball into play, I think. We'll wait till they sort it out.
Kind of looked like it was going to be a replay of both number 20 Jameson and number 30 Richardson running towards the sidelines, and then 15 Sanderson doing a post over the middle.
The old time count violation trick by the Bulldogs is going to put them second and 15, and I don't know if it hurts them that much, Ron. I think they're just trying to set up a play that's going to put them in position for field goal.
I think, I'd rather have second and 10 as a coach than second and 15, especially in the field position. Now they're 5 meters. I have to get used to that still. 5 meters farther back, and that could be a critical time distance between the field goal and the single if they can't kick it that far.
Be interesting if Nastasio comes away out into the flats with his passer. They haven't gone to Mike Richardson over the middle too often. That's been a good pattern for them another game, but there's, an excellent play by that. We'll try and get that number 50. There it is, 61 with a super play for Rob Albertson. What a play for the Crusaders, and that's going to take Churchill out of definite field goal range, so they're going to have to punt, and to get a single point, it's going to be a long punt from Mulvaney. That play sure woke up the crowd. There's a terrific shot of young Rob there, and Rob's a grade 11 student. He'll be back next year, and I'm sure his brother and parents will be proud of that play. Whoa.
Well, for Churchill to get a single, young Kyle Mulvaney is going to have to kick about a 52-meter punt just to get it to the goal line, so this will be interesting. There's the kick. It's a good driving kick. Oh, they let it bounce in between, and it's going to be tie ball game. I imagine Peter Harewood will give up a point. There he is. Whoa, we have to question that one, Coach.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was intended or not. Mulvaney's a left-footed kicker, and that ball's coming at you like a knuckleball. I don't know exactly what happened there.
I just thought the distance was such that there was no possibility of Mulvaney getting a single on that punt. The return men seemed to have a beam on it and could judge it properly, but something happened and it went into the end zone. Tie score, 15-all.
Scary things happening at the Velodrome one night after Halloween.
Didn't you mention overtime earlier in the game?
Yeah.
It's 15-all right now.
I'd love a little overtime. I don't know if the reporters or officials will be that excited. Uh-oh, there's Peter Harewood breaking loose for about 9 meters. Nice run.
Good inside running by number 25, Harewood, and then we see the flag thrown.
Yes, there's a late flag. We'll wait till they sort that out.
St. Paul's is jumping up and down. It looks like it's against Churchill.
And it's going to be a big one, 15 meters. Probably some kind of a talking penalty or perhaps rough play, and Churchill doesn't need that. With the possibility of 1 point deciding this game, there's no sense giving your opponents good field position by penalty.
Rough play. There's the pitch inside the Harewood. He breaks so loose for about another 7-meter gain, and that play really developed well.
Well, I think it was the same play, Bob, only it was to the opposite side.
If we get a replay on that, we'll see that their right offensive tackle did an excellent job. He came down tough on Jamie Christensen, number 54. See it come down, seal him off inside, and there he goes, turns it up.
Yeah, looked like number 48. We'll check that out. I believe that's John Militano. I'm not sure about that, but I believe that's the man who put the block on there. There's the gift to Harewood off the other side. Oh, no room this time, and I think he'll be a meter short, but we'll wait till they unpile. As the yardstick boys had a great look at that one.
Christensen was in on the tackle. That's Jamie Christensen, 54, and he plays defensive end.
They're a meter short on the mark, Bob.
What does St. Paul's do in this situation? 3rd and 1, pretty deep into Churchill territory.
Yeah, they haven't used the quarterback sneak. It wouldn't be. I think they'll probably maybe, although Harewood is such a powerful back, but I would have my quarterback sneak the ball if it's like. There it is, Harewood, first down. He breaks through. He's got about 8 meters. Nice run by St. Paul's, gives him a first down. The ball's down around, it looks to be around the 27-meter line of the Churchill Bulldogs, and things are buzzing here at the Velodrome. There's some of those rowdy Churchill spectators saying, stop that man.
Well, this has been quite a drive, Bob. Of course, it started after the single point that Churchill scored on the punt, and there was one rough play penalty there aiding St. Paul's, and they've really taken the ball down the field. Cameraman a little faked out there, but I think Tetro was the ball carrier, number 14.
Yeah, just for a short gain, and I was faked out a little bit too. I didn't know I was watching a replay. After four and a half hours of broadcasting, Tom, you got to miss a few. And there's a picture of the Churchill Bulldog. It wants to get out on the field there. The mascot, what nerve. It says, hold me back.
We're down to about 5 minutes remaining in this 4th quarter. Actually, 4 minutes, 58 seconds, 15-all ball game.
Jamie Christensen is down on the field right now. The trainers are coming out to see what the problem is. That's going to hurt.
Yeah, Jamie's been double teamed a lot over in that side because I believe Churchill is using a 3-man line. So those 3 down linemen are really taking a beating, that's for sure.
He also plays both ways, Bob, and as we've commented, it's been a very physical ball game. We've got a little under 5 minutes left to go in the ball game, and it's the wear and tear just got to be taking its effect on him. He's a very integral part of both their offensive scheme of things and what they do defensively.
Dean Kazmarowicz is in to replace him again, and I know last time Dean came in the game, St. Paul's didn't waste any time attacking him.
No, I would think we'll probably see something off tackle right to St. Paul's right, meaning Churchill's left.
But the situation here, Tom, now like a second and looks like a 2nd and 9 situation, so that might dictate a little different play, but
might try the pitch play. And we'd like to remind you that the championship game is next Saturday, November the 5th at the Velodrome, 1 p.m. And please try to attend. Support high school sports.
There's some of the Churchill supporters. We're number 1. Will they be? Who knows? We've got 4.5 minutes to go. There goes Harewood. And somebody's got him to himself. Number 12 missed him. Harewood turns the corner, knocked out of bounds down around the 17-meter line, I believe. A nice run by Peter Harewood, and the Crusaders are coming alive here with 4:49 remaining.
See an orange piece of cloth on the field, Bob. Is that a flag there? Or?
And it seems to be against St. Paul's. They're moving back. There's another thing I noticed that time. Again, it was an unbalanced line right, Tom, and Churchill didn't adjust to it.
You can
can see the people outnumbered. Number 12, Jim Harvey, I think it is, has a shot at him and misses, and then the pursuit catches up with him on the sidelines.
Smart play by St. Paul's because they overbalanced their offensive line to the side where Churchill has made some replacements. In other words, to Christensen's side. Christensen was out and the rookie was in. I think Kazmarowicz. I'm not sure if he's a rookie or not, but he's not the regular defensive end, and they overbalanced the line to that side. Good play. I think we're going to see the same thing here. Offside, though.
Oh, here we go again.
Tetro's offside.
Pass. It's caught by Cantafio. No, dropped, I think. Good defense over there by number 22. We'll give him credit for the Churchill Bulldogs. That's Dale Hutchinson. He's a veteran player, been around a couple of years.
He played for, saw a lot of duty last year in the secondary and back again this year. Good job. He did a job, got filling well. Took him right in the midsection and tackled him.
Nice
Good
play,
job.
Dale.
Flag on the play, though, and I think number 14 for the St. Paul's Crusaders, Tetro, was offside.
And that was a big play. Declined the penalty and ends up 3rd and 14, almost 15 now. And now we have to wonder whether Churchill, if it is kicked in the end zone, will they run it out or give up the single for field position, then hope to go down and get at least 3.
Yeah, I think there's not much doubt they're going to run the ball out and keep it alive here, keep it a tie game, I would think, in this situation. It'll be a tremendous, Pura has done a good job kicking into the wind, but he's got a real task here. He'll be kicking the ball. He'll be leaving his foot around the 41-meter line into a wind, and there's the kick. It's not very far at all. Oh, a poor kick, and it hasn't rolled out of bounds yet as Andrews comes up and traps the Crusaders for no yards. A smart play by John Andrews.
We have to wonder, Bob, that was number 15, Pura, coming up, so that was a kicker, so they had to throw the flag, but they'll discuss that out and see that he was an onside man and that Churchill will get the ball right there.
That's number 22, Paul Catafio, debating the call with the referee, but I think
you're right, Ron.
There won't be any flag.
I just noticed they've just waved it off. Flag, not really thrown in air. They have to throw it, like you said, Ron, if somebody infringes on that 5-yard area. So this sets up an interesting final 4 minutes here. We're down to 4:12 in the fourth quarter, 15-15, the second game of our doubleheader tonight, Tuesday night, November the 1st at the Velodrome. It's semi-final action in the High School Football League. And right now, the Churchill Bulldogs, they got to get that ball out of the shadow of their goalpost now. Although they are out, I think, around their 20-meter line, so things could be worse. They just give to John Andrews inside, and I think John goes for about 4 or 5 meters. They'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs.
John did a good that time keeping his legs going. He hit the pile and spun and kept the feet driving, and he picked up probably 3 extra meters after the original hit.
It's going to be 2nd and about 4 meters to go, between 4 and 5 meters.
There's a shot of some Churchill spectators here at the game.
Down to about 3.5 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
We'll be doing some ground level interviews after the game, so stay tuned. There's George Sanderson open, a nice diving attempt, but the ball goes incomplete on a 2nd and 5 situation. A nice pass from D'Estasio, just slightly missed on the execution there. George Sanderson, nice diving attempt, and there was good coverage by Cantafio for the Crusaders. Now it's now the pressure is on this Churchill centerman. Don Birch has got to come through with a good snap right now.
Well, they need a good snap and a good punt, because if St. Paul's gets that ball around midfield with 3:20 left in the ball game, they're in excellent position to come in and get the go-ahead point or points.
There's a shot of the rookie punter for the Churchill Bulldogs, Kyle Mulvaney. I'm sure the coaches have said, try and get rid of the ball in a hurry, Kyle. And here's the big rush. He does. Oh,
and they got a roughing.
What a booming kick, a nice kick. Number 15, Pura is taking the ball. There was a penalty on the kicker, and Pura is run out of bounds by Urso. And what are the Bulldogs going to do? I think their choice is pretty obvious here. They're going to get a first down probably on a roughing the kicker.
Just trying to pick out what number roughed the kicker. I think it was 55, Grouette.
We get a replay, we can see the contact. Here we go. Came in from the right side, so we can see if we can pick that up as he comes.
The official.
There we go.
Oh, they missed it on.
Excellent punt, though. Excellent punt.
The official didn't have much choice there, because poor young Mulvaney really got blindsided. There's a pitch of Urso putting Pura out of bounds, but that was after. The important thing is, if you're a Bulldog fan, you got a first down up here around the 38-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders with 2:51 remaining till the final whistle.
Tie ball game, 15-15.
The fans are chanting overtime, overtime. What a super game. I don't think I've ever seen so many fans just standing for the whole game. Look at them packed in there, Tom.
Even some over on the other side, Bob.
Tom, I know you're supposed to head down to field level, but don't stay here till the last minute. Or hang in here.
Are you sure about that, Bob?
Well, I think you'll be able to fight your way through the crowd. No, probably a quicker way would be go
It's right through the booth.
straight through the booth, down the rail.
There you go, Bob. 1st and 10 after the penalty for roughing the kicker.
There's John Andrews. He breaks through. He's in the first down territory.
First
Nice
down.
run. And John's the league leading scorer. And he showed why on that play as he just is on the verge of breaking it, probably all the way there. A nice first down run up near midfield. .233 remaining. The clock's running. The Bulldogs eating up a little time. They want to get in a position just to kick the ball. Lauren Davies, a very strong leg for field goals. Kyle Mulvaney, good leg too for the punting. So it'll be kind of interesting. There they give. Same play to Andrews. Oh, he's stuffed, but he's at least made it to the midfield mark. And that was a first down play. Only picked up 1 or 2 meters.
That was number 55, Robin Gruette, that came in and made the hit for, he picked up 1 meter, but it was an excellent fill by him and stood up Andrews and limited the gain to 1 meter.
Well, Robin's played a fine game tonight. I don't know how many times we've mentioned his name, and I think he's also a two-way player. He's involved on the offensive line for the St. Paul's Crusaders.
2nd and 9. Will the Bulldogs pass? No, it's John Andrews' time for only a short gain, so it's punting time with Kyle Mulvaney. I'm surprised the Bulldogs maybe didn't put it up, go for a first down, but the coaches maybe figure Mulvaney can get it down near the goal line again. I guess he kicked from this area before.
I believe you're right, Bob. I think the last single that Mulvaney got to tie up the score was from about this part of the field.
I think they're about 5 yards deeper, Bob.
Yeah, it'd be
5 meters back, but he got all of it the last time when he picked up the single, and if they don't field the ball properly, you could be looking at the go-ahead point.
He has to kick that ball about 60 meters here to get it to the goal line, so that gives you viewers at home an idea of what's... Here's the, no, St. Paul's doesn't go for the block, and there's the Mulvaney's kick, a nice high kick, and it comes down around, I think, the 15-meter line where it's handled very nicely by the Crusaders, and they just hold on to the ball with 1:26 remaining.
And the ball at the 20-meter line coming out.
Tom Sherbrick says, I'm not going down the stairs, it's going into overtime. I'd have to agree with you at this point, Tom.
Well, the thing that St. Paul's got into problems in the first half was fumbled footballs and penalties, and if they can stay away from that, they'll be in good shape. But if they turn the ball over here, there'd be a big break for Churchill.
How about Peter Harewood throwing a pitch pass? Whoa, I hope the Bulldogs are ready for that. Oh,
there's the pitch.
But no pass.
The Bulldogs stuff it, and that's kind of interesting. That play only ate up about 4 seconds. So
well, they may get the ball. If they don't pick up a first down, St. Paul's will have to kick into that wind, and it's starting to pick up. We see papers blowing up here in the press box in front of us. Churchill could be in good position to put a couple plays together and maybe win the ball game.
St. Paul's, you're right, Ron, has got to pick up a first down here. 1:15, the clock is running.
They're unbalanced left this time, and Churchill did not adjust again. And here's the pitch to Harewood. He turns it up.
Oh, he's met by Urso, but he broke that tackle. But I think he'll be 2 meters short, maybe. Very interesting. Has the player signal over to Coach Sitter, and I think it's timeout time. I think I would take a timeout.
They better use it now. They may not get a chance to use it again.
I'd be surprised if they don't, because I guess there's an injured player. And it's young Harewood.
If they're going for it and Peter Harewood is down, that's an inopportune time for him to go down for St. Paul's, because he's the key to their offensive unit if they're going to try to pick up that first down.
And this just adds to the dramatics, Tom. You like that? Your best running back going down with 1:04 left. Oh my God.
I'm surprised, Tom, that the Churchill defensive line hasn't picked up that unbalanced line, because they used it a lot in the last 3 years, and they've always commented if you can catch a defense that doesn't adjust to it, you outman them at the point of attack, and you're in very good position. And St. Paul's has been doing that consistently. Well, we noticed it early in the second quarter, and they've been doing it to them the rest of the game, and they haven't adjusted to it.
Well, they've got the...
No, I agree with you. It just seems like you would think that the Churchill defense would move over. Their own team uses the overbalanced line themselves, and they've probably run it against their own defense in practice. And why they're not shifting over, I don't know. But
I would like to get a zero-in shot on the St. Paul's coaching staff over there. I'm sure there's a look of concern as Peter Harewood comes out of the ball game.
Here comes the punting unit. I see young Joey Pound coming on the field, but it's Pura, I guess I'm looking for.
Pura.
He's the punter, isn't he?
Or would it be the fake punting unit?
Remember right toward the end of the first half, he ran a fake. So what do we do here?
Oh, this is punt that ball away, St. Paul.
53 seconds left, 15 all.
All the brains are just grinding away up here in the press box.
And we don't get to make the decision.
No, strategy time.
Well, this is it. It's a 15-15 ball game, and if they go and get stopped.
Well, I guess St. Paul's did take a regular timeout after an injury timeout. I guess that's possible. I believe that's what they've done here. I see Coach Sitter out in the field talking, I believe it's to either Pura or Charles Tetro. I'm not sure which one.
There's the St. Paul offense eagerly awaiting decision of Coach Sitter coming in with the play. I'm sure they'd like to go for it. I know all offensive linemen, if they figure if it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, they said, let us block, we can get it.
Yeah.
But,
I think I saw
that's the nature of offensive linemen, to think that they can make that first down all the time.
I think I saw Coach Sitter gaze skywards before he made this call. Father Conley, where are you when we need you?
Well, they're in punt formation, and Andrews and Urso are deep, ready to receive the punt.
Good snap. Look at that ball come back like a rocket right on the numbers. There's a good kick
punt
into the wind. And it's handled there. I think that's Andrews with the ball, and he's just up over midfield. Oh, he's down. That's Urso. I guess he's down to around the 46-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders. So now we're down to 43 seconds remaining. 15-15.
43 seconds with 46 meters to go to the goal line. It'll be interesting, the decision of what Churchill does play calling wise, whether they try to get them in position for a field goal or whether they just try to get the 1 point.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Bob and Ron, but I think Churchill has 1 timeout left.
That would sound right. That's right.
That may become a crucial factor.
I wouldn't be surprised if Churchill maybe passes. If they do pass, I think it'd be a very deep pass, and there's nice head surge.
Well,
5 meters.
We've seen him throw that flat pass, that little quick out to the wide receivers, and looking at it, it's still there. But boy, if you throw that one wrong behind the receiver, it's 6 points going the other way. So I'm sure they're not going to make any mistakes. They're going to try to get themselves in position to win the ball game on the last play of the game.
31 seconds.
Maybe we'll see a punting match in and out of the end zone, Bob.
Sure, I'm all in favor of that. There's the Stasio, there's that pass. I believe it was caught. I just missed it. Sanderson over by the bench, and he's in first down territory. 22 seconds left, and the Bulldogs are clawing away, trying to eke out a victory here by a point if they can. 22 seconds.
Well, I'm sure, Tom, that they won't make the mistake they made in the first half by not getting any points. I'm sure that timeout will come into play.
Well, they can't allow that to happen. They had a timeout at the end of the first half, and they never used it and allowed the clock to run out.
Pistasio gives to Andrews, just tucks in behind the big left tackle. Mike Dean goes ahead for 3 meters. 11 seconds remaining. Oh, it's getting scary, boys and girls.
Well, it's just a matter of Churchill. I think for them to win this game, they're just going to have to kick the ball out of the end zone or angle it towards the corner.
Well, there's a meeting of the minds. Churchill has called their final timeout, and they're meeting. We've got a shot on the television here of the head screen. Everyone thinking over the huddle at the Churchill bench. There we are, and everyone involved is involved there. You see Andrews, you see Birch, you see Christensen in back there. All the coaching staff is surrounded. They have to decide whether they want to kick that ball for a single or they're going to try a field goal.
Tom Sherbrick is just making his way down to the sidelines now. He's anticipating a 1-point victory by the Bulldogs. He might be a little premature. Doesn't he know the Crusaders have been known to block kicks and pick them up and run for touchdowns? And we've got Ron Gustafson's coming on here on Tom's headset, so I hope there's no technical problems for you people.
We wondered a couple minutes ago whether or not we're going to get into a punting match here, whether Churchill will put the ball into the end zone far enough so that St. Paul's can't kick it back out. Remember, they also have to give the return man 5 meters.
That's a good point. There's a snap. It's a good snap. There's the kick. It's coming down about 5 meters into the end zone.
It's in the end zone.
St. Paul's is going to return the kick.
They get it out.
They do. Did it get out far enough?
Yes, it did. It did.
We can't tell from the signal. I guess it did. So the game ends as a tie, and we got overtime.
Churchill received the punt, but he was knocked out of bounds, and that's the end of the ball game. Unless there's a flag, I can't see. There's a lot of commotion on the field.
I think that ball went out of bounds around the St. Paul's 2-meter line. Who wrote this script?
I don't know. We have a replay coming up on that, Bob. You see, it was a good punt into the end zone. The St. Paul's receiver fielded it and kicked it, ran a few meters and kicked it back out.
How you doing, Bob?
Here it is, Bob. There we go. We've got the catch. Here he comes. Number 15, Pura kicks it out. Getty catches it at the 4-yard line. If he stays in bounds, it's a touchdown.
Whoa,
he had people in front of him.
How does that overtime work?
That's something we should find out here, Bob. It's exactly how the overtime the overtime setup works.
No, I don't think they are. They're setting the clock for 10 minutes, like they'll play probably 2 10-minute quarters, I believe, and they only give them about a 3-minute break here. We've got one of the officials down here beside us, so we're just going to try and check with him the procedure.
I wonder if we could get Coach Sherbrooke down and see if he could get an official on the sidelines to explain the overtime setup.
I think Arnie Taylor is just announcing right now that we have, I think, 2 10-minute halves in overtime. They're explaining it over the public address system. So don't leave us, don't go home early. What a super ball game. The old kick it out of the end zone trick bails the Crusaders out. Just a super finish.
There was good heads-up play by the Churchill people covering the punt.
Right now, we're just going to, I think they're only giving the players about 2 or 3 minutes, so we're just going to break away for a minute. So don't go home without us. Tom Sherbrooke's just trying to make his way down onto the field too to get clarification, and we'll be right back.
I think it bounced out of bounds.
Back, and it's overtime here at the Velodrome, and we'll explain it to you viewers at home. And we have 2 10-minute halves. It's not sudden death. In the last 3 minutes of each half, they have the special timing is in effect, and actually what it amounts to, we're being treated to an extra 20 minutes of football. And the way things are lining up here, the Bulldogs are going to be kicking off to the Crusaders in overtime.
That was it, Bob. The officials came up and very definitely said that it's not a sudden death playout. There are 2 halves to this football. So there are 20 more minutes of football left here at the Velodrome.
There's the play. Davies with a booming kick, a real strong kick. It's mishandled by the Crusaders, but they pick it up and they head straight upfield. A nice run. I believe it's, we're not sure if it's 22. We'll wait till they unpile, but they're going to have nice field position. We're talking about St. Paul's, that is. And there's number 54 getting up slowly. He was one of the blockers for the Crusaders. That's Carl Sayer. He's played a strong game. And again, we're playing 2 10-minute halves. It is not sudden death. We just play it to the end here. They'll be given a very short 2-minute break between the halves, and special timing is in effect the last 3 minutes of each half. So for some of the boys, this could be really important, Ron, how the reserves do in this situation. There we go. First down. They pitch to Harewood. He turns it up. He's got a first down. A nice run by Peter Harewood, and the Crusaders are off to a great start.
They did a good job coming off left tackle that time, Bob. Harewood again running hard. You have to wonder how long he's going to hold up. He's at the 96-meter run. He had their other touchdown. He's been playing offensively, defensively, and you know these people are geared to play 48 minutes of football, and when you throw another 20 in, it's going to take its toll on these people tonight. I'm sure Tech Block will be happy to see this one go overtime.
Boy, some of those linemen going 2 ways in both these teams. Well, they'll be shedding a few pounds out there tonight. I know they get caught up in the action. They're not going to notice it that much, but there's the give to Cantafio. He pops through. Rick Urso's got him. He's still driving. Oh, Jamie Christensen had him first, but young Cantafio ran right out of his grasp. And Ron, you take it away. We're going to have a nice replay on this.
Okay, on the replay, you notice that the backs all went in motion left, and Cantafio just sits in a little counter-action back right off the right tackle. You see there's a handoff. He reads it well, made an excellent cut, broke the tackle of Christensen, broke the tackle of Urso, and it took Parliament and Urso to bring him down. He picked up about 15 meters, an excellent play. Good run by Cantafio.
The Crusaders have the ball on the Bulldog 43-meter line, and they're off and running. The flags fly, and Bulldogs are flying after young Peter Harewood again as they bring him down for a short gain. We'll wait till they sort out the penalty.
It looked like procedure against St. Paul's. It looked like I think it was their right tackle, their right guard moved early. We'll have to, if we get it on the replay. St. Paul's is back to making mistakes. They made mistakes late in the game in the 4th quarter before our overtime. That took them out of the possible field goal single range. So we'll have to see if they're going to continue making mistakes.
I see the Bulldogs did not decline the penalty. They are marking off the meterage right now. And it'll be a 1st and 15 situation now as the ball is back out to the 47-meter line of Churchill. St. Paul's has the ball. We have 8:41 remaining in the first overtime half, and what just a super ball game here at the Velodrome. 15-15, and what a play to end the game. Well, there's a look-in pass. It's good to number 75. We'll check that out. That's John Gilmore for the St. Paul's Crusaders. And that play's been there all night for them, and they just decided to use it right now. Nice play by St. Paul's.
Okay, we have a replay coming up. You notice that Silo quarterback fakes the pitch right, fakes a little action, fakes the dive, and then a little pop pass drop to the 75. Good catch, turns it upfield, and runs well with the football.
Did a good job wrapping both arms around that ball. You don't want to fumble in this point in the game when you're getting into nice field goal position. 2nd and 1 situation with the Crusaders. Not much doubt what they're going to do in this play. They give straight ahead. I believe it's Cantafio. We'll wait till they sort, but he's got lots of meterage for a first down anyways.
Well, there's no doubt they picked that one up by about 3 meters. A lot of people, you have to wonder about young Darren Greengrass in there too. Bob, he hasn't played much football, spot duty throughout the year. Now he's forced into playing. He's played, what, almost 3 full quarters now, and you have to wonder how his stamina is holding up also.
That's a good point, Ron, and if he can pick up those overshifts too, that's interesting, if he can get that in a hurry.
Well, they overshifted right now, and I didn't see him adjust. They're unbalanced left.
There they go. They give the Tetro off right end. Oh, there's a nice tackle. We'll give number 12.
Good play by Jim Harvey. Good play by Jim Harvey. Lauren Davies played the outside linebacker, came across the line of scrimmage, turned the play inside, and there was Jim Harvey waiting for it. Good defensive play.
There's a shot of some of the girls from St. Mary's who are here doing the cheerleading on behalf of St. Paul's High School, and just terrific to see that.
Darren's been doing a pretty good job for Churchill defensively at that nose guard. He's very critical position when you play a 3-man front. That nose guard has to control the guard center holes on both sides.
I think our technical people get overtime for this, Ron. They'll love this. Oh, there's a loose ball. And I think the middle linebacker, Jerry DePape, came up with the ball. And number 15, Peter Pura, has got to feel terrible right now. But they remember, they didn't give up any points. It's not sudden death. The Bulldogs have a long way to go. Just a super defensive play, though.
Good reaction by DePape. They had a good fill by the linebacker coming across the line of scrimmage, tackled the backfield. The ball popped up, and DePape was quick to react to it, landed on it. Churchill football. And we're down to 7 minutes left in this one, in the first half of this overtime, Bob. Big break for Churchill.
George Sanderson comes wide to this side. He looks like he's got a little bit. There's the give off left tackle for maybe only about 3 or 4 meter gain. We'll pick up the number. It's Chris Jameson, number 20.
Same thing that they opened up the game early with, Bob. They were running a little bit off tackle. They've been keying on Andrews. They've been changing their power and running to Jameson, running back off weak side instead of strong side.
2nd and 7 situation right now for the Churchill Bulldogs. Will Tony DeStasio put the ball in the air? Or the answer, it looks like yes. That play's open. There it is, and I believe it's Don Birch, 33, just doing I guess what they consider a safe little out pattern. He's going to be very close to the first down where they mark his forward point of advance.
Well, you can run your routes at a couple different depths, Bob. If you're looking at a long depth, you're looking at 10 to 12 yard out, and you can throw that for first down distance. But in that situation, on a 2nd and short, he ran a 6 yard out, picked up the first down, and just a good football play. We like to run that when the defensive backs are playing 7-8 yards off, because they backpedal on the snap, and it opens up that short pass for you.
There go the chain stick boys from Tech Bach out onto the field. Those are the meter men, we call them now, and I know that Al Besson was nice enough to mention them in a column he did last week in the Free Press, and they sure appreciated that. I was talking to them before the game, and they're as excited about this game as some of the players. It was terrific.
First down, Bob. I noticed there's going to be some games being played here. A couple of the defensive backs were over with Coach Sitter at that time, and now the game's come. If they adjust up to the quick out, will Churchill adjust and not run that quick out, but get a little more depth in their patterns? And here's where the coaching aspect really comes in this football game.
Look at those Churchill girls. They haven't stopped cheering all night. That's great to see.
I think we're on the St. Paul side with that, Bob. We're right down in front.
Oh, I thought I saw that blue and red over there. Here we go, 1st and 10 situation for the Bulldogs, and they stay pretty basic. They give to Andrews. He is brought down after just a short gain, or maybe 4 meter gain on the play. Eats up a little time. The clock is at 5:50 and running down here in the first half of our first 10-minute half of overtime football here at the Velodrome. And all I can say is, Ron, thank goodness it's such a beautiful night for football.
Well, we've been very fortunate this year. I think there was only one bad game or one bad night, and that was the night that we had a lot of rain here. I remember Tech Bach Calvin was the second game that was telecast here, and it was just an absolutely terrible night. A lot of rain, but the field's in good shape. And we've got an excellent
George
football
Sanderson.
game.
Oh, a near interception by number 20. Whoa, man, that had a touchdown written on it both ways.
Here's the replay, Bob. This is what we talked about earlier in the show. That's Tim Langfilling. If they throw that out a little bit behind or a little bit short, and that defensive back reads it, and he picks it off. Here we go. Here's the pass. There it is. See, it's a little bit underthrown, and Lang just missed it. Hey, Sanderson, good job. He almost caught the deflection. Would have been a super catch. But if Lang picks that one off, I'd have to say, Bob, that it's 6 points for St. Paul's.
We're down to about 5:10 remaining here, and in the first 10-minute half of overtime, there's Mulvaney, a booming kick with the breeze. Nice kick. It's mishandled by St. Paul's, but they get possession. They head to this side of the field, but they're going to have poor field position here. Some good downfield coverage.
I think that was Cam Parliament made the original tackle. You see Rick Urso getting up off the foul. But there must have been a little lack of communication back there by those two receivers, because they were both trying to catch the football at the same time. And what you want is someone to catch the football and someone to lead block for you.
Arnie Taylor informs us the ball is at the 18-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders. They're going to take over here with 5 minutes remaining, and it won't take long for these quarters to run through here, Ron. It's going to be very interesting who will be able to get in position to kick for a point.
It will, and one of the reason we have a timeout is Jamie Christensen is down on the field again, whether he's having leg problems or what, but this is about the third or fourth time that he's been down, and as we've mentioned his name a lot during the telecast, he is a very critical part of that Churchill defensive line.
Just while we get a little break here, I'll try and mention the name of the coaches here for the Churchill Bulldogs. We got Brian Dobie as the head coach, Dennis Fenton, he's the teacher on staff, defensive coordinator, Paul Normando, a 9-year veteran offensive line. Daryl Mazer is the defensive secondary coach. Dwayne Hissop, his second year offensive backfield coach. Dwayne was at Daniel McIntyre last year. Dave Boness, first year from the University of Manitoba, a former linebacker, and he's doing the defensive line. There's a picture of the Bulldogs just taking a little breather down there. Some of the numbers, 88 Belanger. Number 21 we see there is Mike Chmielewski, the rookie. Number 22 has played a strong game today, Dale Hutchison.
You see Jeff Getty there on the side. There's they're taking a good much-needed rest right now.
We're just juggling the headsets here. Tom Sherbrooke has fought his way through the crowd to get back here, and what a ball game. 5 minutes, we're at the halfway point of the first half. There's Karen Beauchamp and Trish Wilson helping Jamie Christensen. It's been a rough night for Jamie, and we'll tell our viewers that we see the Bulldogs lost their starting nose guard partway through the second. No, I guess it was towards the end of the first half there, and you know, it's definitely caused a few problems, but they've got not bad work out of their sub there. Darren Greengrass has done a good job. There's the pitch. I believe it's Peter Harewood. He just lowers the shoulders and he goes ahead. It looks like a 7-meter gain. Nice play for St. Paul's.
I was just going to say, Bob, that looked like the overbalance to this side again, and
it looked like Churchill adjusted that time, Tom.
Well, it's about time, because so far tonight, St. Paul's has picked up some good meters with that overbalanced line, and Churchill's just playing with less defenders. You know,
they go unbalanced right this time. Crack back in the pitch. Good.
There's a flag.
We have to wonder if the crackback, there's a rule in high school football that says if you crack back, you have to block the player above the waist, and we'll have to see whether that, as number 15, Pura came down, whether he blocked below the waist or not.
I know a couple of the St. Paul's players look really excited that it's offside by the Bulldogs. We'll wait till they sort it out. There's the replay.
Well, actually, I think it was above the waist.
So it's offside call against the Bulldogs. Wow. First down time now for the St. Paul's Crusaders. The ball's on their own 30-meter line, and right now they'd like to eat up a little time, kick for a point. We were joking earlier in the game, a point here, a point there. Where are those points when we need them? Oh, there's some good faking by young Steidl. I didn't know who had the ball.
Well, it was the gift to Cantafio, and I think Cantafio just slanted off tackle or off guard on the right-hand side of the offensive line.
Number 36 Urso came up with the ball, but I believe it was after the fact there.
You're talking about points here and points there, Bob. As we progress in this game, as it progresses farther along, that missed opportunity in the first half by Churchill sure looms big right now.
You're right, Coach. We were talking about that play at halftime. You're right. Here we go. 2nd and 8 situation. Here's, the player was open early. There's a look-in pass, but it's intercepted by DePape. He heads out towards this side of the field. He's brought down on the 34-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders. And it was funny, Ron, I watched that play right from the start. The original big tight end, 75, was open, but Steidl didn't give him the ball. Then he waited a second, threw to the next man, but by that time, the other man was covered.
There he looks. Now he looks back outside. Nothing's there. And DePape gets a good drop. He's got about an 10-meter drop. He goes up, catches it at the highest point of his jump, and pulls it down. Did a good job returning the football. Churchill's football, what are we on? About the 39 34-meter line
Yes.
going in.
I think I just saw Coach Fenton kiss an athlete. I don't believe it, but that's his boy who made that play.
Excellent play by DePatt.
There's the pass. It's
There
good.
it is.
It's caught by
Pass.
Jamison. He's turning the corner. That kid can move. Ooh!
Good hit by Pura on the sideline.
What a hit, but Jamison by that point has traveled down to around the 15-meter line. Just a super play by Chris Jamison.
Well, it was that little flat pass again, Bob, and we've seen Jamison be very effective on that play tonight. Got really cranked, though, at the sidelines by number 15.
It was a good, here it is. We see the little fly. You see Jamison break out. There's the catch. He turns upfield. He outruns 26, but watch this hit. Oh, you don't hit him any better than that. He'll remember that one for a while.
But Jamison bounced back up, and he's in the backfield.
First down. The Bulldogs are going to pass again. It's intercepted, I believe, by the Crusaders. Whoa! Woo.
Number 14.
That's number 14. That's
Charles Tatro on interception.
Who wrote this script?
There we're talking about that out again, Bob, where the quarterback has to get the ball up and out. If the receiver doesn't catch it, the defensive back doesn't catch it. That time, Pure did a good job. Here we go. Cuts in front. Good play by the defense.
You know what I noticed right away was really interesting. The quarterback had taken an angle of pursuit to cut off the interception man.
14. Tatro.
First and 10 situation for the Crusaders. We're down to 2:44 remaining here in the minute half of overtime. They just give off left tackle, and the runner, number 22, Cantafio, is tripped up by looks like Pat Belanger and Jerry DePap in there, number 40. No, Jeff
Number
Getty, 44.
Right, Jeff Getty.
They did a little something out of context by them. They didn't come out in their power eye set. They came out with a slot and a split backfield. They just ran a little crossing back and gave to the second man. Belanger playing the outside linebacker, read it and crashed down, held him to a gain of 2. It looked like it was going to go for a good yardage.
There's a score for our viewers at home, whether it's Wednesday afternoon, Saturday morning, 15-15 in overtime. Not sudden death overtime either. Oh, there's a nice cut by the ball player, but Urso came over to make a good tackle, and he absorbed the punishing late block from Cantafio, but Urso had made the play on Pura by then, and also over Michael Dean. Good defense just in time.
Well, it was a good tackle, and it's going to make it short by about maybe 1 meter, so it's 3rd and 1. And there's Pura carrying the ball, and Urso makes the tackle and then gets knocked down.
There was a double hit on that, Tom. He made the tackle and then got hit.
Spun around, and I think 22, Cantafio.
Urso thrives in that. That's why he likes running back kicks.
Here we go. Critical. Oh, they're mixed up. They're unbalanced right. Way unbalanced.
Way unbalanced.
What do you call it?
Oh, and it's offside.
Okay. Oh, on a 3rd and 1 situation,
3rd and 1.
too.
Bad time.
But will Churchill get the chance to decline this?
No, I don't think they will there, because the snap was never made,
Right.
it looks like. And
so it would probably bring up a punting situation for sure now.
Oh, they could decline. It was 3rd down.
Yes, one of the people on the right side of the line, and there were a lot of them, most of the team was over on the right side of the line, jumped offside.
They only had one lineman on this side of center. And
That's right.
We've been talking unbalanced. They usually just shift the guard over and stay with 2, but they really went strong side that time.
yeah, it looked like they shifted 2 of their interior linemen over to the right side there. They could actually put the end, the center could actually be an end if they want to, but there's a good snap. That center's been consistent all night. A good driving kick. Number 33, Birch, a good sure-handed reception. He lowers his head, heads upfield, and the Bulldogs are going to take over on their own 47-meter line. And we've got 1:52 remaining here to the end of this first half of overtime.
And number 65, Brian Payne, was downfield to make the tackle for the St. Paul's Crusaders on that punt.
Good coverage by St. Paul's. As we watched them come down from the snap, they came down about 5 across, and they just sealed him inside. Nowhere to run. And as I said, they lowered the boom on him. We picked up only about 4 or 5 meters after the catch.
Here's the pitcher, Mike Richardson, Luke Holt, Jamie Christensen, and I guess Yellen is a center in there. In the back, there's George Sanderson with the red knee pads coming our way. Steve Poor is the up back in the I formation. We'll see what the Bulldogs can come up with here. We're into overtime at the Velodrome on a gorgeous Tuesday night for football. Here's DeStasio. He's going to pass. Good protection. He hangs it up. Richardson is broken deep. He's got the ball. What a reception. There's a penalty, but I think it's against St. Paul's. The reception will hold.
It looked like defensive interference, Bob. That linebacker trying to cover Richardson as a tight end did not play the football. Good catch and good concentration by Richardson.
DeStasio dropping back, looking downfield. And the coverage, it was provided by, I think, 55, Gruette. And it's
penalty declined. That's pretty obvious. Mike Richardson, number 30, the hero of the moment right now. Just a very temporary moment, I might add, because the Bulldogs haven't scored. They have the ball down, it looks like the 24-meter line of the St. Paul's Crusaders. We were down to 1:45 remaining in the first half, and we still have another 10 minutes to go after this.
Well, that was an excellent play by Richardson. As we said earlier in the show, that he has been switched from a starting defensive linebacker where he played for 3 years for Churchill. They switched him to tight end this year because partly in the fact that they felt that they needed to use his abilities. He had good hands, and he showed the hands that he had on that play. Good concentration, following the football in, looked it in, caught it, and he had the presence of mind to tuck it and keep going. Pretty good play for someone who's only played a tight end for 1 year.
That's right, he really timed his jump there in that play very nicely, and D'Estasio really hung the ball up. It seemed to stay up for the longest time, but I guess it just had enough velocity on it to get there. He really arced it high.
I bet you he's hoping he did hit Sanderson like that. A few times he was open in the regulation time.
First down, the ball is on, I believe it's on the 24-meter line. They give to Jamieson, and oh, he lowers his head and drives for maybe about 8 meters. Nice run, Chris.
I think it was number 55 making the tackle there for St. Paul's. That's Gruet again, and so many times we've called his name this evening.
He's a veteran player, Tom, grade 12.
Really, a grade 12 player on St. Paul's.
There's an injured player down for the Crusaders. That's going to slow things up momentarily here. And
Bob, if I might, I'd just like to review the scoring. It's 15-all, and Jamieson scored 2 touchdowns for Churchill, and Davies got both converts. Then Harewood came back and scored 2 touchdowns for St. Paul's, with Pound getting the converts. Just to see a replay of the last play, there's Jamieson getting some meters there. After Harewood's 2 touchdowns, the score was 14-all. Then Blonsky kicked a field goal, actually missed the field goal and got a single, making it 15-14 for St. Paul's, and Mulvaney came back with a punt single, and it's 15-all, and here we are in overtime.
1:41 remaining here in the first 10-minute segment of overtime. This reminds me of a St. Paul St. John's game I saw about 4 years ago in a championship final. It was just a wild,
3 overtimes,
crazy game.
St. John's won.
What a play that was. Thinking back to the last play of regulation time when the ball was kicked out of the end zone by St. Paul's, and the momentum of the ball just went out of bounds on their own, I think, 4-meter line, but by then the clock had run out, and that was the end of the game. Everybody was waiting for a decision on the play, and it was forthcoming very quickly. Here we are, 2nd and 4 situation, and they give to, I believe it's Jamieson, and he's going to be in first down territory. I believe he got a good lead block there from Luke Holt, the big right tackle.
Well, you're right, Bob. It is a first down, and Jamieson carried the ball. It was sort of a kind of an off-tackle play to the right behind Holt, and I believe Christensen on that side.
Luke Holt, he's about 6 foot, weighs about 270, and he's finally got himself in decent shape, and he's doing a good job in there. He started every game as a right offensive tackle.
Well, all the backs from Churchill are doing a good job lead blocking for the other ball carriers.
There's the give to Jamieson, and he breaks that first tackle, keeps his legs driving. He's down probably around the 3-meter line. Chris Jamieson, nice play for the Bulldogs.
Excellent play. Again, if we have a replay, I will see that Andrews leads it up the hole. He takes it, and Jamieson runs hard, brings the ball down to, I think we're about the 3-meter line. Looks like it's short.
Chris,
we're looking at 2nd and 1.
I think Chris lost his shoe.
Chris ran out of his shoe. Could you believe that? What a
There's the replay, and Jamieson is led by both Poor and Andrews through the hole and gains about 8 meters, 2nd and 2.
I'm going to need a pizza after all this. This is too hard on my ticker. I can't take this. There's D'Estasio, 3 meters to go for a touchdown. But no ways, the Crusaders shut it down. I think there's a fumble, but it's after the whistle.
It looks like it's after the whistle. Now the question is,
I
first
think
down
it's
on
first
the 2.
down, though, right.
Okay, 3 shots, Bob. You have to figure they want 7 out of this.
Oh, for sure, Ron, and I don't want to see a deep pitch in this situation. They've got to go with just straight ahead dive, Tom, wouldn't you?
I would think, well, it's hard to guess who it might be. It's either going to be Andrews or Jamieson. That's what I would think, but...
You know, Steve Poor is a good ball carrier. I wouldn't be surprised to see him, but he's such an excellent blocker also. It's pretty tough. Here we go, up and over.
Touchdown, Bulldogs, as John Andrews up and over, but Steve Poor, Chris Jamieson, Luke Holt, Jamie Christensen, Mike Richardson doing the blocking. That's what counted.
Well, we've seen John go up and over 3 or 4 times tonight. And short, 3rd and short. This time was a first and goal from the 2. Here we go, up and over. And a good job. Good line penetration by the Churchill Bulldogs.
Looks like he landed on Holt there right at the end. But as you say, Ron, it was a very good effort by that offensive line. And pushing those Crusaders
There's
out of the way.
some Bulldog fans going crazy. They might think that the game's over here in
I wonder if they
39
realize
seconds.
there's another 10 minutes and 39 seconds left. There's only 39 seconds left in the first half of overtime.
That's right. Here's the all-important kick, and it's good. As I believe that's Lauren Davies punches it through, just about out of the Velodrome again. We lost one ball tonight. We might be down to our last game ball. We got to be careful.
Oh, we have to. What do you think, Coach? We're looking at 39 seconds left in the first half of overtime. We don't know. We don't know right now who had choice. We don't know who had choice.
Right.
So the other team now, the St. Paul's, if they have choice in the second half of overtime, do they take the win or do they take the ball? That's a tough one.
I think they take the wins. That's what I think.
You almost have to, because if you pin Churchill deep, they have to kick into that win, and hopefully you could get some turnovers that way.
There we see the score on the screen. It's Churchill Bulldogs 22 and St. Paul's Crusaders 15. We're in the first overtime period, and we're playing two 10-minute halves. 39 seconds left of this first 10-minute half, and the teams will switch ends and play a second 10 minutes.
There's Lauren Davies, a good driving kick down around the 5-meter line. It's mishandled again, and those balls are coming like knuckle balls. And here's some room, a nice run. I believe it's Pura. He brings the ball up to the 30-meter line. A nice return. And
Christensen making the tackle.
I'm kind of worried if Arnie Taylor's got enough cigarettes to go through another overtime. All the smoke and ashes heading this way.
Well, we have to, you wonder at times. We've been watching the St. Paul's return men all night long, and it always seems to be that two people are trying to field the ball at one time. And if they're going to go on and play, if they win this ball game and go on, they're going to have to work that out and practice the remaining 3 days before starting the semifinal, because you can't successfully have a good special teams if you've got people fighting over who's going to catch the football. They've got to have one person determine who's going to catch the football, and the other person has to go up and do the job and block for him.
Davies,
That's a good point, Ron.
Davies' soccer-style kickoff is very deceptive, too. It's like it's hooking. It starts out at one of their guys, and it's almost like it pulls him in position over to the other man there, and it's really good driving kick on the kickoffs for Churchill. Lauren Davies, a very valuable player there for the Bulldogs.
Down to about 20 seconds left and counting down.
Oh, here we breaking loose to this side is number 15, Pura. He's knocked out of bounds on a crushing tackle by number 22. He called it. That's Hutchison, and he's a veteran player. Urso was there also, and
Pura's lost his shoe as well. I think he's just going to put it back on in the huddle.
12 seconds left to halftime here. Here's a nice
replay, and it's off tackle to the right, and he cuts it to the outside, and we're going to see a good tackle. Boom.
Oh,
helmet right into the chest.
I know we don't promote that in high school football. Just the way it happened, that play is Rick Urso. It set, I guess, Peter Pura up for that hit there, and Hutchinson came in and really laid a lick on him there. We're now 12 seconds left. Timeout, St. Paul's is called timeout.
It's pretty tough, when you're coaching kids, as you teach them to pursue downfield, you want them, as they tackle, to keep their helmet in front of the ball carrier. It's very difficult. We saw it happen a few times on a punt return by Pura in the first half. If you try to arm tackle, they're going to break it. But if you get your head in front and wrap up, there are not too many people that are going to break that tackle. If you're a fraction of a second late, a half a step, all of a sudden the head's in on the numbers. So it's a very questionable call for the officials, whether or not they would call that spearing or butting use of the helmet.
St. Paul's timeout, and we see the Bulldogs down on one knee.
Well, I know, that there's going to be about 55, 60 ball players that are going to have a good sleep tonight.
Oh, that's for sure, Ron.
And of course, the winner of this game has to take on the Tech-Voc Hornets, who were 38-2 winners earlier this evening against the Maples Marauders. And that game will be played on Saturday, November 5th at the Velodrome at 1 p.m.
First down, St. Paul's. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe go with a couple of deep passes here, because this half, they stick pretty basic, and I just missed a player. I believe it was Kentafio there. They number 22 getting up for St. Paul's, and that only ran 5 seconds off the clock. We have 7 seconds remaining. Second and 9 situation. It looks like they're right near midfield, approaching midfield.
Well, we have to wonder. They should go. I would think, if I was coaching, I think I would go for it. With 7 seconds left, you just air it out and try. Maybe somebody slips down, you get a good play, a lucky catch or something. You got to go for points now. You just can't concede at halftime.
Maybe pass interference. I have to give the Bulldogs credit for throwing the ball as much as they did there. And
Kentafio running the ball straight ahead.
And that runs out the time, and that's the end of our first half. There goes the gun, and the score right now is 22-15 in favor of the Churchill Bulldogs.
And there's an injured St. Paul's Crusader on the play. It may have been the ball carrier, number 22, Cantafio, and he's a two-way ball player. There we see the score, 22-15. Now we're just about to start the second half of the overtime period. First half is over. And in that first half of overtime, we had Andrews score a touchdown by going over the top, and Davies got the convert, so now Churchill is ahead by 7, 22-15.
Yeah, we're not going to break away here because they're just giving the teams a couple of minutes. They're talking to the captains right now.
We've got number 15 down for St. Paul's. We've got Peter Pura down. That will be interesting to see if he can come back.
Yeah,
he's a two-way ball player. Has been going both ways for him tonight, and that could be critical. Again, 10 minutes left in the ball game.
And
he's also the punter, right?
Punter, too. That's a crucial thing. And we might have to look into our miscellaneous file here, I think, Tom. And, well, there's a little timeout here on the field. We don't want to detract from this game, but maybe we could mention, I know we talked about it quite a while ago, what a tremendous showing by Transcona in minor football to have 5 teams in those minor championships last week. It was just tremendous, I thought.
Well, although Transcona came out on the short end of all of the scores, as you say, Bob, it was a tremendous effort by that Transcona team. They had 5 teams, I believe, battling for championships on the weekend just passed, and just a good effort from Transcona. And I believe we're just about ready to start the second half here.
Yeah, so just giving the teams, I think, 2 to 3 minutes rest, that's all, and we'll be underway here shortly.
We've just seen the coin, or the decision of as to who's doing what in this second half of the overtime, Bob. As it looks now, Churchill will be kicking off from our left to the right, which means that they will have the wind again in the second half of overtime. So they came out smelling pretty good with that one.
That's right. That's baffled
the overtime.
That's baffled some of the fans up in this area, but I guess there's no complaints. I don't see.
Well, I think what happened is St. Paul's had their choice, and Len Sitter decided he'd want the football. And then he could put points on and strike early, and Churchill shut him down, got a touchdown there toward the end of the first overtime. And now Churchill's choice, they said, hey, we'll take the win, make you guys score into it.
Well, Sitter's going to get a chance to get the ball back and try to score again right away.
There's Lauren Davies getting set to kick off. That's Dean Kasparowicz in the background on the special teams, and Lauren Davies has been consistent all night. Look at that driving kick. If that hits the turf, look, they just had to, they're having a problem just stopping that ball. He's got such drive on it. Kasparowicz overran, actually Dean Kasparowicz overran the play, but he forced the player to take a knee on the play, and they whistled the ball dead right there.
There's also a flag on the play, Bob. One came down at about the 35 meter line, so we'll have to wait and see what that is. Again, problems catching the football on the kick.
There's number 20. That was the returner for the St. Paul's Crusaders. That's Tim Lang.
In all fairness to those kick return men, though, Lauren Davies is just doing a super job for the Bulldogs with driving kicks. Wow. And the Crusaders are going to have terrible field position here because the penalty marked off, blocking below the waist, it looks like, Tom. And
yeah, that's what it was, Bob.
They'll be starting inside their 10-meter line, I believe, where they're marking the ball.
Well, excuse me, Ron, I was just going to say that Peter Pura has joined the offensive huddle for the St. Paul's Crusaders, so he seems to be all right.
Last time they were for that position, Harewood broke one. We'll have to see what happens.
That's right. He sure showed me some speed. There's a nice fake by the quarterback. I believe they gave the Cantafio back over right guard, right tackle. Quite often they like to show a little power to this left side and give back to the other side.
Is that in the flag in the end zone there, Bob?
The flag did come down. There's one on the 6-meter line also. That location almost makes you think somebody's offside or procedure.
Offside Churchill, it looks like, is first indication there from the official. So that'll help out St. Paul's. They'll gladly accept that 5 yards here. Get a 1st and 5 situation coming up. And there's another flag from St. Paul's High School. That flag's been flying here at the Velodrome ever since 1967 when they started playing high school games here. And it's very well defended, I might add.
Doesn't fit in a referee's
There's
back
Peter
pocket.
Pura, but all of a sudden Michael Dean and I see 22, the defensive backfield, are in there. Oh, a late hit by the Bulldogs, and that sure isn't going to help matters. I believe it was a late hit.
Well, that's interesting, Bob. Pura's taking that ball from out of the eye in the power eye, and they didn't have Harewood in, so we have to wonder if he's a little bit fatigued from playing both ways for the entire first half, or the entire regulation time in 10 minutes overtime.
And having to run 96 meters or more for a touchdown.
Rough play Bulldogs. Bulldogs take Jeff Getty out of the game. Talk to him for just a second. I think it was just Well, it was a late hit. There's no other way to describe it. Jeff is as excited as all the other players out there. They're just talking to him. I'm sure he'll be back in the next play.
Well, here's penalties. They've just moved the ball 20 meters on Churchill miscues.
9 minutes remaining here in our second overtime period, and Steidl again gives off right guard, but they're just not going anywhere with that play. The Bulldogs, that's Jamie Christensen territory. See Jamie with the chipped white helmet there, 54, and they had good success earlier when they overshifted and just pitched that side, but sometimes that crossing motion going over that side isn't doing too much for them.
Well, St. Paul's has been going with the running game for the most part of this game, and time is winding down, and the running game is a game that takes a long time to score a touchdown if you have one of these grind them up type of ball control offenses.
2nd and 8, Steidl looks to this side. He eludes the first two men. Dean's chasing him, but Steidl tucks the ball away, runs out of bounds, short of the first down. And you know what I was just thinking, gentlemen? I don't think there's two better teams in the league condition-wise probably than these two. They really work hard at the conditioning, and it's really evident here. Look at the way those guys are performing here. They're into the, it's just like an extra quarter
play
of
has
football.
not dropped off. We've noticed that.
Here's a replay, and Steidl drops back, and I believe one of his blockers gets knocked into him. And he takes off and just makes it to the sideline, but he's going to be short by about a meter. And I think it was Parliament ran him out, as well as number 22, Hutchison.
We've got 3rd and 2 here, Bob. 3 and 2 meters to go, and St. Paul's is going for it. They're coming out. They're unbalanced left.
I'm a little bit surprised at it, but we'll see what develops here. There's the give, and good surge by the left guard and left tackle, Tom. They're just a super job blowing out people. Wow.
Well, it's hard to say who's playing left guard and left tackle because of the overshift. People are lining up in different positions. But was it Pura that ran the ball?
Yes. Number 15?
Yep.
Yes.
First down.
Maybe you should explain what we're talking about. We've been mentioning unbalanced line right and unbalanced line left. Maybe we should explain to the fans out there exactly what they're doing.
Okay, well, basically there's a center and then a left guard and a right guard and a left tackle and a right tackle. So 2 men on each side of the center. And what St. Paul's is doing is shifting it and overbalancing it. In other words, putting more men on one side than on the other.
There's a pitch again to Pura. He's got a little room to this side and finally brought out by Hutchison again. A nice tackle by our ground level camera. There's a picture of Peter. What a super grade 10 player.
Well, he's done a fine job this evening, both punting and running the ball, and he's just playing a good game. But I'm wondering where Harewood is. And here we're going to see it again. It's a little pitch.
You can see the linebacker sealed down inside on that excellent block by the back coming up.
Look at him switch the ball to the outside, too, away from the tackler.
We've noticed that both Jamison and Anders have not been switching. They've been carrying it in their strong arm, and they're both right-handed, no matter which side they run to.
There's a nice fake by the quarterback. They give straight ahead. It's Contafio again off right guard, and it just looks like they're using that play first down, coming back this side second down. Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see them go to looking pass to the tight end again. That's been open several times.
Well,
after a little play.
I think you could say they might have set it up by now because they've run so many running plays that any kind of passing play would be something different.
2nd and 7 situation here as the Crusaders methodically work away here. There goes Pura, nice hole. He breaks it to the outside. He maybe lost a step shifting the ball, but that's going to be a face mask, Bob.
Whoa. Face mask.
First down, Crusaders, and add probably 15 yards onto that.
It may have been an overbalanced line to the left. We'll be able to see it again on the replay, I'm sure. Well, perhaps not, but it's Pura carrying the ball, and it's up the middle, and then veering to the outside, switching hands with the ball, and you can see his face mask being grabbed, and that's going to be an extra 15 meters. We're down to 6 minutes, 54 seconds left.
The St. Paul's fans are getting worked up, Bob. They can sense a score to tie this ball game back up.
Oh, I don't blame them. I don't blame them. The ball looks like it's on about the 16-meter line of Churchill. There's the give to Contafio. No way. It's shut down on a fine play. Jamie Christensen, the first man in with the low hit, and then after that, Pat Belanger and a couple of other Bulldogs pinned the player, but Christensen made the initial play.
Well, it's been a series of key second down plays here, and we have another one. It's 2nd and about 9.
Second, and they didn't pick up much. It looks 2nd and 10 from where the spot is here.
That's right. You got it there, Ron. You're right on. Oh, there's the give to Pure inside again, and another good low tackle. We'll try and get them as they unpile. I got my eye on the tackler.
Well, there's 40 in there.
That will give a DePap.
Gary DePap for sure.
He's been involved a lot in this ball game.
DePap wrapped him early and then sort of fell out of the play, but he was the one who had initially had a hold of Pura's ankles.
Decision time here. 5:59 and counting left. They are third and 8, maybe third and 8.5. And timeout is called by St. Paul's. We have to decide, do we kick for 3? I don't know.
I think I go for it.
5:54 left. A good drive by Churchill with the wind, and then a good punt with it. Doesn't leave him much time. So there's a lot of, like you say, the wheels are turning over on that sidelines at the St. Paul's bench.
3rd and 8 situation. This is when you wish you were at the stadium. You had a nice high press box, a couple of assistant coaches sitting up there, see all these plays and patterns develop, could talk to you.
Here's some of the St. Paul's players and coaches discussing strategy. It's a critical 3rd down situation, 3rd and 8, 5 minutes, 54 seconds left, and it's a 22-15 ball game.
We're trying to locate Peter Harewood over there on the bench, and I haven't been able to see him. I wonder if he's sitting on the bench with the cape or...
I see Peter's right at this end of the bench, I believe, over there, sitting right at the end, and maybe a leg problem, I'm not sure. He looks...
That definitely hurts the St. Paul's ground attack.
Young Pura has done a remarkable job. He's one of the top rookies I've seen this year. And Ron, I know one of the other top rookies I've seen is a defensive back for Grant Park. I believe he's a grade 10 player. I just forget his name. Maybe
Sean Mark. Sean Mark played number 8. He played excellent. In fact, he's sitting right down here in the stands. Excellent football player. Big plug for the Legion camp out there at the Peace Gardens. He went to that last summer and did an excellent job.
Here we go. The Crusaders got a 4-man spread to the right. They're throwing it deep, deep, deep. Oh, it looks like a broken pattern. No receiver near the ball. I'm looking for a flag. No flags down, and the Bulldogs are going to take over.
If we can get a replay on that, Bob, we had 4 receivers split right, and they sent everybody downfield.
Oh, there is a flag down on the play, Ron.
But
I missed that.
Against St. Paul's procedure. Now what Churchill has to do now is start working that football on the ground, take some time off that clock, and if they do have to give it up in good field position so that St. Paul's will have a long way to get back in this ball game. 22-15 with 5:47 left in this second half of overtime.
There's Tony DeStasio is back into the huddle with the play. George Sanderson's getting slower and slower every time he comes out to this side of the field. I don't blame him.
He's getting tired. Some of these boys are getting sleepy.
It's an old ploy, Bob. You're just limping until the snap.
That's right. Those wide receivers, you can't trust them. That's right. The Bulldogs just give straight ahead for 3 meters. We'll wait till they unpile, and we just missed the ball carrier there for you. I'd be this is an interesting call here, Ron. 2nd and 7 situation, whether DeStasio put the ball up again.
Well, the last time he put the ball up, it was intercepted, so we have to see what's going to happen here. The quick outs are still there on both sides.
Well, we're down to 5 minutes.
Oh, just a quick give straight up the middle. Jamison, oh, a good effort as he breaks the initial tackles, but he's...
I'll tell you, Bob, it depends on the mark. He's very close. It's decision time for Coach Dobie now. He's very close. Could be measurement time here.
Well, what an effort, because look where that ball is being marked. The last 3 meters, just a tremendous effort by Chris Jamison on that play.
There he is, very concerned. You see Mike Richardson and John Andrews from Churchill there looking at the measurement. They want to make sure they're not going to get cheated out of any chain links there.
They're 2 of the team captains, I noticed, along with Cam Parliament, Tony DeStasio, Jamie Christensen, and that's it. They've got 5, I believe, team captains there. I hope. Oh, Rick Urso too. 6 team captains. That's always it's always interesting when they go over to shake hands and everything before the game. Some teams like to send 2, some 4, but the Bulldogs send 6 captains over.
Like a wedding reception.
Yeah, it's like going to their bench to decide who's going to kick and receive. Half a meter to go, Bob. Decision time here, and Churchill's going to take a timeout and talk this one over.
Arnie Taylor's got the binoculars on this and says it's 35 centimeters to go for a first down. And
well, that's precise, isn't it? There's Coach Sitter.
There's a Coach Sitter there with the white hat, the leather jacket. He's talking to Peter Pura, and what a super game to have been involved in from a coaching point of view. Win or lose, both coaches, all the assistant coaches. It's just been a tremendous showing tonight from both teams, and I'm sure I hope Len's ticker holds out for that.
Well, you can't fault any of the coaching staffs or any of the ball players. It was 14-0. St. Paul's came back, made it 14-14. Then they went ahead 15-14. Churchill fought and clawed back, made it 15-15. Excellent play to end the game. Punt in and comes back out.
I'm just going to mention the assistant coaches there for St. Paul's, I should say. Dennis Verrio, Carmen Militano, Chuck Barbie, and Greg Skinner, all former students helping out at the school there at St. Paul's Collegiate. Len Sitter, of course, the head coach, but he's very capably assisted there by those gentlemen.
They're going for it, Bob.
Surprises me. Hope there's a good surge, though. I guess they gave, I believe, right off right guard. Jamie Christensen, the center, nice block by Yellen. Holt, I don't think Holt had a man to block. He just surged straight ahead. But Christensen and Yellen did the damage in that play.
What Brian have to do on that is shorten their splits down and just straight ahead blocking. You know, it was less than a meter to go, and you've got it. The defensive line by St. Paul's has to give them a meter away from the ball. You know, you almost like to guarantee a 1 yard pickup, but anything can happen. Good run by Jameson. Put his head down and picked up the necessary yardage for the first down.
Dave Gallis into the game for Don Birch, possibly with a play for the Bulldogs here. A 1st and 10 situation. 4:27 remaining here in the second 10-minute overtime period at the Velodrome. We're taping this Tuesday night, November the 1st. The winner plays Tech Bach on Saturday at 1 o'clock. Just a straight ahead give in that play for about a 3-meter gain, and the Bulldogs are trying to eat up the clock here.
Well, ball control would be the name of the game right now for Churchill. If they can just keep getting first downs and marching the ball down the field, St. Paul's won't have a chance to get the ball back and score. Conversely, St. Paul's wants to turn the ball back over to their offense as soon as possible.
I'm sure Coach Dove, if he's sending in any plays, he's reminding those ball carriers, squeeze that football, because you don't want to turn that thing over right now with less than 4 minutes left in the ball game inside your 30-meter line.
2nd and 6 situation here confronting the Bulldogs. There's DeStasio. He's just going to give to the Chris Jameson, the second man, and it looks like he got about a 2-meter gain. It'll be 3rd and 4 situation. Send in the punters, or maybe the punter.
Punting team. And the punt return team should be coming in for the St. Paul's team.
Injured. I think there's an injured player down for the Bulldogs there.
Don Birch from Churchill is injured on this one.
Oh, and Don Birch is the 3rd down center.
Interesting. Here we go.
Key player to have hurt on this.
And here comes Gord Yellen back in the huddle. He'll do the snapping. He's the backup long snapper. He's also the center.
Yes.
For the regular offensive series.
I was cruising by Churchill School late Sunday afternoon, and I saw them working out, so I went over there and watched for a few minutes, and I saw young Yellen was snapping. He did a pretty commendable job at that time, and this will be really interesting to see what he can do under pressure. He's done a very good job in those short yardage situations blocking, but this is a different kind of pressure. And knowing what a fine job St. Paul's does scouting, I'm sure that they realize that Birch is the injured player, so you can bet there'll be a tremendous rush up the middle here on this play.
Well, he
seems to be okay.
He doesn't seem to be limping as he goes off. It may have been an equipment problem, maybe a leg cramp. It's hard to say. Like, they played a lot of football, and you got to figure these boys are getting tired out there.
Here's Churchill breaking the huddle. About 3 minutes and a half left in the game. Well, maybe not in the game, at least in the second overtime. The second overtime period. I don't want to jump to conclusions here. 1 touchdown would tie it up for St. Paul's, and then we'd have to play some more.
The Bulldogs lead by 7 here, 22-15 into the second 10-minute overtime period. This isn't sudden death. We play this right to the end of the time. And there's a good rush. Oh, it's a high punt. A good Mulvaney really hangs the ball. It's fumbled, but covered very smartly by the St. Paul's player, Rick Urso, in to pin him.
Fumbled by Tatro, and Urso is right on top. Good play by Tatro to get the football back. Rick Urso is right there. It wasn't for Tatro, Churchill would have possession.
I mentioned before, Charles Tatro, just a grade 11 student. Peter Pura, grade 10. Ouch. Oh.
Be familiar with those. You'll be saying them a lot in the next few
that's
years.
right. Lots of grade 11s and 10s appearing on this roster for St. Paul's. It's going to be first down on the 42-meter line.
There's the give to Pura. He does a good job following his interference. He's finally run out of bounds by Chemolitsky, number 21, the rookie defensive back. And an injured player, I believe it's 75, the big end there for the St. Paul's Crusaders.
That's John Gilmore.
No, he's back up. It's
Pick
not
up
too
about
serious
6
then.
on that, Bob. We're looking at 2nd and 4 meters to go at the 47-meter line.
Okay, here we're going to see the replay, and Pura is going to be the ball carrier off tackle to the left here. And just turns the corner, breaks 1 tackle, and then gets run out of bounds. So it's 2nd and 5.
3-minute warning has just been given, and we got the overshift right again, I believe, by the Crusaders. And there's a nice fake by Steidl. He looks back to this side. Oh, no. The pass falls incomplete. There's a nice faking by the quarterback. Intended receiver, number 26, Rob Dick. That's, I believe, the first time they've gone to Rob tonight. He's very fleet of foot. I know that. I saw Rob in one of the earlier games in the rain here. I believe it was against River East. Did some very good, positive things there for the Crusaders. And it's a 3rd and 5 situation. Time to gamble now with 2:43 remaining. How about a look-in pass to the tight end?
It's about time.
Look at the way they're up there. No, they give inside. He's got it. Pure first down. How about a 7-meter
Excellent
pickup?
surge. Excellent surge by the offensive line of St. Paul's.
That is confidence. 3rd and 5, just a routine pitch. It made it look real good. The Crusaders have just crossed over midfield. They're on the 47-meter line of the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs have got about 9 men up tight there in the line. They just pitched to Pure. If he ever pops through that first group, Jeff Getty in with the tackle. And I believe we have an injured, no, just checking to see if that Bulldog gets up. It looks like he got trampled, so we better give him a couple
good to
shots.
get down on the ground there, Bob. They don't want to get back up. It's been a long night.
Lauren Davies, the backup quarterback. You don't want anything to happen to Lauren. Lauren's playing left cornerback position there for the Churchill Bulldogs.
Also their place kicker and kickoff man. Very valuable member to the Churchill Bulldogs.
He's a 3-year veteran. Right now we got a 2nd and 7 situation. Oh, good defense. We'll try and get the name. That might be Darren Greengrass.
No, that looks like Boulanger,
number
88 from his outside linebacker. That's who it was.
Number 88 getting up out of the pile. Pat Boulanger, veteran corner linebacker. And all of a sudden, it looks like both teams, I think, are tiring a bit out there. Wow, what a ball game this has been.
I think the crowd is also tiring a little bit. Bob seems to have quieted down a little bit.
2 minutes remaining. Pat Boulanger, number 88, right corner linebacker. Pat's a 2-year veteran there. His nickname is the Lizard in the Fort Rouge area.
Why would that be?
Well, maybe you can get down there and talk to him if it comes out for Churchill.
I think it has something to do with Slurpees. And
I see.
3rd and 7.
A little pop pass.
There's a look-in pass. Nice defensive play. DePap again. Number 40 dropped into a zone, came across, and dove to knock the ball down. Not bad for a rookie middle linebacker, Tom.
Oh, it was a real good play by DePap, and that may be the ball game. It's 1 minute, 38 seconds left. 22-15 for Churchill. They could get a first down or two.
Here we go. They're unbalanced left. We get the snap, the fake, the throw. DePap dives and knocks it down. Remember they ran that play earlier, Bob, and DePap intercepted, so he's been reading well in there.
There's a nice ground level shot of St. Paul's setting up here, and I think you're going to see a tremendous surge by that St. Paul's defense. They're going to be trying to strip the ball loose, get the ball. 1:38 remaining here in regulation time. We're in the 2nd overtime period. There's the give. It's Chris Jameson. He still trying to fight for more meterage. He looks like he's got 4 meters. He finally wrapped both arms around the ball there. Just hit the turf. There's a picture of the clock, and that's not seconds ticking away. The clock is frozen right now to the official whistles in time. Or 1:34 remaining.
Here's where St. Paul needs a turnover, Bob. They're going to be in the idea that the first man's going to make contact with the ball carrier. The 2nd, 3rd, 4th man, if that happens to be, they've got to try to strip that football loose from one of the Churchill running backs. And if that happens, we're going to have an interesting finish. If Churchill could control with the 2nd and 7 meters to go, if they can control this offensive series and pick up a first down, it looks pretty bleak for St. Paul's right now.
2nd and 7. They give straight ahead. Not much yardage in that situation. And we see Don Birch is back in the game as a receiver, so he'll probably handle the 3rd down snapping situation right now. And I don't think there's much doubt that the Crusaders are going to put a big outside rush on. For all your viewers at home, remember the winner of this game is going to participate in the championship football game coming up next Saturday, 1 o'clock at the Velodrome. And if you're watching this game Saturday morning, you've still got time to head out to the Velodrome. $1 general admission ticket at the door. The Tech Block Hornets are awaiting the winner of this ball game.
Well, the St. Paul's fans are on their feet to the right of us here, Bob. They're hoping for a block punt, and I'm sure they're going to send only 2 people deep, send the rest of the St. Paul's defense trying to block that punt by Kyle Mulvaney.
Well, one good thing about having Mulvaney punt, he's not on the starting offense or defensive teams. The coaches have had ample time there to brief him on what to do, Ron, so it should be pretty interesting. Kyle's done a better job now. He's not quite as deliberate as he was early in the season, getting the punts away a little quicker now. It's the snap that's crucial here.
Well, it comes with practice. You know, the more you get into it, the more routine it becomes. And here we've got a big play right now.
There's a snap. It's a little high. Here comes the rush, but Mulvaney gets a good kick away, dead center, number 14. No, I thought he would catch the ball, but there's a bounce again. A little inexperience there in the kick teams, and I think they should give up a point here. Maybe not. 1 point for the Churchill Bulldogs in that play, and actually that might not be too bad. The Crusaders could still tie up the ball game here. They get the ball out in their 30-meter line with a 2-point conversion is what they need. A touchdown, of course.
Interesting. Mulvaney again. It ended the first half, or ended the second half. He got a good punt to get that single to tie the ball game up and send it in overtime. He really cut his foot into that one and sent it down.
Tom Sherbrooke right now is heading down to field level to do some interviews. Ron Gustafson taking over his headset here with 52 seconds left. There's a shot of the crowd, and I think we're going to see a few people on the field after the game, but this is not a championship game. Let me remind our viewers, this is semi-final action you're watching. The Tech Rock Hornets won the first game tonight very convincingly, and it's going to take a tremendous effort by either one of these teams to knock them out of championship contention. There's Jamie Christensen, Steidl with a hit just as he released the ball there, and I think I'm just amazed that Steidl got up. Wow, did he ever take a hit on that play?
I think it was Jamie Christensen, wasn't it, Bob, that came over and put the hit? I think Steidl, he's going to have to roll himself, get out of the pocket and get out and give himself some time to throw. Here we go. St. Paul's is going without a huddle. Confusion on the line of scrimmage.
There we go. They got a triple or a quadruple spread to the left side of the field here. We'll see what happens. There's a nice fake. There's a Steidl throwing downfield. Pure, just over outstretched hands. Cam Parliament in behind to defend. Rick Urso dropped off, was probably in an even better position to defend on the play. It's going to bring up a third and...
Oh, no, Bob, well, it probably will because Churchill will decline. St. Paul's was in motion early. They left early, so it will be, the flag was thrown. It seemed to be they're a little confused as to what they wanted to do, Bob. They saw their linemen jumping around and weren't quite sure as to what they wanted to do.
That's right. It's one thing to have all the backs jumping around, but it's a little tricky sometimes having those linemen doing it.
3rd and 10 here. 40 seconds left in the second half of overtime. 23-15 for the Churchill Bulldogs over St. Paul's Crusaders. 4 receivers right. There's the snap.
There's the pass. He's wide open. That's Cantafio, I believe. And it takes a driving jolt there for, I believe it was I think it was Lauren Davies. We'll wait to try and get a replay. Mike Richardson was over in that area too. Number 19 leaving the game right now for the Bulldogs. We'll check out who that is. That's Piero Urso, a second-year player in there as a defensive back. Piero's got a lot of playing time this year, I know.
Picked up the first
Crusaders,
down.
they go here with their quick offense, and there's Piero, the ball carrier, stopped for a short gain. That only ate up about 6 seconds. 24 seconds remaining. The Bulldogs lead 23-15, and what a ball game this has been. And just, I can't see where there's a loser tonight, Ron, the way these two teams play. Just tremendous.
The team that goes away on the short end of this score is going to be very frustrated. It's been a very excellent played football game. They've all given it their heart. Like I said before, they usually play 48 minutes in these football games. And here we're looking at another 20. We're playing 68 minutes of football. It's been good, hard football. No one is let up. And I'm sure that there will be a lot of bumps and bruises uncovered tomorrow when they wake up out of bed tomorrow.
I see they've got Tom Sherbrooke all wired up down there at field level. He's going to try and do some interviews with possibly players and coaches from both teams.
I see Peter Pura is down. Is that down number 15? Yeah, Peter Pura is down. Just carried. Looks like they're working on his calf. Looks like a leg cramp. You have to wonder, Bob, if they should just get that ball up and start throwing. Work the incomplete pass will stop the clock and not start it again till the ball snapped. And here we run off tackle by Pura. And once the ball's whistled in, the clock will start. So we have to wonder if St. Paul's is wisely using the remaining 24 seconds that they have left in this second half of overtime.
That's right. Right now, they still have time, I would think, for at least 4 passing plays here if they use the time properly. And
Yeah, if they if they hit a couple 15-yarders and get out of bounds, and they move themselves down to Churchill territory, and then if they go with that 4 receivers to the one side as they have been the last couple sets, all they have to do is throw that alley-oop up and get a break, an interference call, a bobble pass back and forth. You never know.
You always have to look for excuses of how to win these games, don't you? That's for sure. I mean, you have to. When you're out there, you got to think of ways. I shouldn't say excuses, but you got to look for ways to win this game. Right now, St. Paul's has got to get a touchdown, a two-point conversion, but put the game into another overtime session if they were able to do that here in 4 seconds.
Well, the thing they can't do is try to get it all back at once. You know, they can't try to score on the first play. They've got to work themselves down. Churchill, their defensive backs are playing 10 to 15 meters off the line of scrimmage. The minute the ball snapped, they're backing up. You've got to take what they're going to give you and work yourself in position where a big break play is going to put you back into this one. Again, if they score, Bob, because of the single on the punt by Mulvaney, they've got to get a 2-point conversion to tie the ball game.
There, we're just underway to here. We're waiting till the ball snapped. I believe the clock will start running. We're down to 22 seconds. There's Kent. Quarterback Steidl looking this way. It's nearly intercepted. I believe it's 21, the rookie defensive back Chemalinsky, but the ball falls incomplete and stops the clock, which is a good thing for St. Paul's. 16 seconds remaining. Time for possibly 3 plays if they use their time correctly. But it's 3rd down, Ron. I forgot about that. 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 8. So they got to get the first down first and out of bounds.
What Churchill's doing defensively is they're just dropping four defensive backs straight back. And what they're trying to do is divide that defensive backfield into 4 zones. And they're just sitting in it. And anybody that comes in the area, they play the football as it comes there. They're doing a good job.
There we go. There's Steidl. The pass was deflected either by
rushed by Davies.
Either by Lauren Davies or Jamie Christensen. Lauren Davies with a big outside rush. I think it was a good time to blitz too. And that's the ball game. As long as the Bulldogs hold on to the ball right now with 12 seconds left, they lead by a 23-15. Tom Sherbrooke's all wired up down at field level. We're going to try and get some coaches and players over for Tom to interview as soon as possible. And shortly we'll be turning things over to Tom. And just a super game, Ron. I'd like to thank you for helping us out here. It's what a ball game for you to jump in on. An overtimer.
2 ball games in one. It's a special treat. I really enjoyed it.
That's right. There's D'Estasio falling down with 10 seconds, the clock.
And I know we have to thank the people putting on the football game here. We really enjoyed working and watching the ball games as they're retelecast on Sundays after we play. It helps our football programs out. I know all the coaches are very impressed with the way these telecasts have been done. And again, it helps us out, and it saves us some time and effort as far as what we have to do filming wise for our games, and we can watch these films on Sunday and evaluate our ball players, and they do a wonderful job.
Thank you, Tom. VPW people will be glad to hear that. There's the last play of the ball game. There's no flags down. The gun sounds, and I think we're going to go down to Tom Sherbrooke here shortly. He's all wired up down on the sidelines. Fans a few of them are storming out on the field. There's a couple of police officers trying to keep them back, but those are just a few Churchill people going out there. And well, at least Tom didn't get trampled, and right now we're going to leave the press box area and throw it down to Tom Sherbrooke at field level. I'm sure we'll have some people over to him to interview here shortly. Or take it away, Tom, if you can hear us.
Be sure to catch Kenny Rogers in The Coward of the County this Tuesday night at 8 on CKND.
Fake the Taylor. Star shoots it.